Hello, and welcome to the show. It's Kelly, and I know you may have a hard time understanding my American accent, sir. Here's my best Australian accent for you. And if you don't understand, I'll see you out back. Welcome, Melbs, to TNR. Please silence your phones in case you get a caller, but feel free to use them to take pictures and videos, and of course you can post them online. Laughter is obviously encouraged, and while we know you Vegemite want to yell out during the show, don't be kangarooed. Just save your audience participation for the Q&A section at the end of the show. Now, without further ado, put your hands together. Oh, bugger. Bugger. Now, without further ado, put your hands together for the newest Olympian.
Melbourne, Victoria, Australia, what is good? Woo. Oh, what a fun intro that was, yeah? Oh, it is a delight to be back in your lovely city, in your lovely state, in your lovely country. It has been an absolute blast. We've been having such a fun time here in Melbs. This morning, I played cricket. I feel alive. I feel properly Australian. I've been eating Vegemite. I've been eating all the different Arnots, right? All the Tim Tams. I had mint slices. Oh, I've done it all. It's been absolutely fantastic. And we have an absolutely fantastic show lined up for you today because we're going to be covering some very fun chapters from the House of Hades. I'm super stoked to get into all of them. So I think we should not waste any more time. We should get to our guest because I'm not on this journey alone. I'm never on this journey alone. And not only am I not alone, but I'm with someone that actually does have a real Australian accent because they are Australian. If you went to the other shows, you've heard her on those episodes, but it might be a new voice for you all, but she is so fantastic. It's been so fun doing these shows, and I'm excited to do a third. So make some noise for tonight's guest. It's Polly Burridge! Thank you.
Hello.
How's it going?
Good. I got to see Kelly do that fantastic intro backstage, so I'm all hyped. Might not be as good as Kelly, but look, I'll try my best.
You did very good accent coaching with Kelly,
yes.
to give like
there was
very
a lot
specific.
of how do you say this, and it's like exactly the same way you say it.
Have you enjoyed your times in Melbourne since you were normally a Sydney person?
I flew across country because we were in Perth on Monday, and I've been in the office ever since because I can work down here, and it's been absolutely delightful.
Nice.
For people from Melbourne, I am staying in Brunswick, so.
What does that mean? They're excited.
Nice, trendy area.
Cool. I mean, yeah, that's kind of the vibe I've gotten of the whole city. Like, it's very fun. Also, you all have great playgrounds. My daughter is a big fan of all the swings. The swing game here is very, very strong. Don't say it too loudly,
because she will.
Oh, right, yeah, sorry. The SWINGs here are really good. But I've learned from Kelly that this venue is in an SWING desert, so we don't want to get her hopes up too much. I think she's somewhere sneaking in the back.
Today, while Mike was playing cricket, they kept saying,
what's up, baby? Hello.
We're going to SWING the bat. And she would go, oh my gosh, where are they?
So have to be very particular. So we were taking hits, we were taking turns, we were not doing it. But no, shout out to where's Megan in the crowd? Hello.
Hey.
Megan was so nice and brought all of the necessary cricket equipment, and we had a fun time learning, and I was hitting and bowling, and it was fantastic. Yeah. But oh no. So we have obviously been calling the tour TNR, and we've said it a couple of times, and the baby has really taken on to saying it, but not when we want her to. We were trying to see if there's a way we could get it on the pre-show thing for her to say TNR, but every time we ask her, do you want to say it? She goes, no. But just randomly, when things will come about, she will just start going, TNR, TNR. So I think we're going to return to New York City with an Australian baby. So
Worse scenarios have happened.
right, yeah, it's very fun. Kelly's even like, should we move here and then she'd have an Australian accent? How fun would that be? I'd be like, you would just talk to her like that all the time. You would try to adopt it.
She would end up with like the worst Australian accent anyone's ever heard, just because like, even though she lives here, but it's around Kelly. So like,
yeah, look. Her words, not mine. I also think Kelly's is very bad.
She's trying her best. She's
trying her best. Which, look, mine's not any better. I just don't try
Do
it.
yeah.
But let's go into these chapters. So the first chapter that we're going to be covering today is chapter 15, where we last left our heroes. They were making their way through Tartarus. Percy and Annabeth are still down there trying to make their way through. They recently were following the Impusae, and then they lost track of them, and then they were like, oh, right, we've lost track of them because they are hiding and they're going to attack us. So that's where we resume. The chapter opens with quote, Percy recalled how dangerous Kelly with an I had been the last time. Very clear distinction. Very pro Kelly with a Y,
yes.
Very anti Kelly with an I.
Yes.
Percy recalled how dangerous Kelly with an I had been the last time they'd fought in the labyrinth. Despite those mismatched legs, she could move fast when she wanted to. She dodged his sword strikes and would have eaten his face if Annabeth hadn't stabbed her from behind. Now she had 4 friends with her. And at first when they were doing this little description, I was like, oh, sweet, Annabeth already stabbed? Oh, that's from the last time.
Yeah.
Oh. I was like, that was really quick. Good job, Annabeth. Yeah. Oh, dang it.
That would be such a dramatic start to the chapter. Actually, we didn't fight. We fought her off screen.
Just a little quick. Oh, Annabeth did it. And
let's move on.
crisis averted. Let's go through Tartarus. So Kelly with an eye touches her sternum and asks Annabeth, "What's the matter, daughter of Athena? Don't have your weapon? Bummer. I'd use it to kill you." So Kelly with an eye proving to be very dastardly, very evil.
Yeah.
Because I'm sad that Annabeth doesn't have the weapon.
Yeah.
So for her to be taunting and throwing this in her face makes me very upset.
Very upset. Yeah. I wish she had it. I think we all do. It's like Annabeth without her dagger. It's like, what are you like? It just feels wrong.
It does. It does. I don't know how / if she'll get it back, but I feel like she needs it. But she doesn't have the hat or the dagger, right? So
she's
got
lost
nothing.
the entire backpack that had all of her stuff in it. So.
The laptop, all of it, all of her classic goodies. So Percy and Annabeth stand shoulder to shoulder in classic form, and narrator Percy even notes, like, we've done this so many times, but we have no idea what we're going to do. In this case, we are not in shape for any sort of fight, let alone a fight where we're outnumbered.
Yeah.
Kelly said, silence your firearms! But they're in no shape for a fight like this.
No.
Percy considers calling for Mrs. O'Leary, but he fears that if she went down into Tartarus, she would either die or revert into evil hellhound form, both of which are very bad options.
Yeah.
So I think it's smart for him not to do this.
And I love dog dad Percy. Lily called him Dursey. It's something that's really interesting to think about is that would happen, because I don't want to see Miss O'Leary go back to her original form, but it is interesting to see how much Tartarus actually affects both mortals and monsters.
Right. And it also seems like there's a lot of unknown. What we'll get into soon is Kelly with an eye asking, I wonder what happens if a demigod dies in Tartarus. I don't think that's ever happened before. It's like, that's terrifying. That there's the unknown possibility. So he does not end up calling on Mrs. O'Leary. And then, much like the intro to Hips Don't Lie, he thinks no fighting, which means that all that they have left is the Annabeth 3. Trickery, talk, or delay. So Percy tries to chat things up with Kelly with an eye, going, so I guess you're wondering what we're doing in Tartarus. And Kelly with an eye goes, no, I just want to kill you.
Yeah, don't actually care. It doesn't change the fact I'm going to kill you.
Exactly. Annabeth then jumps in, trying to keep things going. She goes, oh, too bad, because you have no idea what's going on in the mortal world. And Kelly with an eye goes, we know enough. Gia has spoken. And then Annabeth decides to kind of change course here and go on an anti-Kelly with an eye crusade, trying to sow some division within the Impusae. So she starts telling the others that Kelly with an eye is leading them to another defeat, citing that last time she was tasked with keeping Luke loyal to Kronos, and he gave his life to defeat him, so she doesn't have a great track record.
Which is fair. The thing that really struck me with this little bit is how close Athena and Aphrodite cabinets actually are, even though they really don't like each other. Like, this is something that Piper would have tried to do as well.
Yeah.
And yeah, like for someone like Annabeth who thinks she doesn't have any powers or skills, it's like, well, you do. Like, it's very clear here. Like, she has the ability to manipulate people, which is a classic Aphrodite thing. And she hates Aphrodite cabinets, so it's a really interesting dynamic.
Yeah, it would be interesting. I think we just didn't get to see it enough based on what happened in the Mark of Athena, but to see Annabeth and Piper working together, I think would be really fun.
Yes.
Like, if she is strategically employing Piper's abilities out to other people, I think that could be a very fascinating combo. So the Impusai are a little bit rattled. Kelly with an eye screams, "Enough!" And then her fingers become talons. She tries to spin this loss from before as, oh, it's just part of the greater Gia plan. You know, yes, we had a setback there, but, you know, we're going to be okay now because this was all just part of Gia's return, and soon we will feast on demigods. And the feasting on demigods element of things, that very much excites the Impusai. So they are back on board. It kind of felt like to me when you're playing Guitar Hero or Rock Band and there's like the red, yellow, green, and it's like, oh, not going well. Oh, but we're going to eat some demigods. Oh, okay, star power. Yeah, okay. Got a little combo going. So that's how I felt with the back and forth of it all. But then, narrator Percy says, quote, "Percy had been in the middle of a school of sharks when the water was full of blood. That wasn't nearly as scary as Impusai ready to feed." Did I forget this happening? Because I don't know what he's referring to.
So did I. I had no idea what he was referring to. And I was like, can't he talk to sharks? Like, surely that's not as scary.
Right.
Like,
okay. Was this a scene in the books? Crowd, did I forget this?
No? Okay.
Okay, so he he just has once been in the middle of a school of sharks when the water was full of blood. Okay, sure. I guess. I don't know.
I genuinely don't know. And again, he can talk to sharks.
Right.
So, like...
Maybe it was before he knew he was a son of Poseidon. I don't know. But it just, the only other thing I could think of, like, is this some reference to the Telekines? Because they were like shark dog combos, and there was the thing where they swarmed him. But I don't know. This was wild to me. So maybe I'll add that to the list of very important questions to ask Uncle Rick. Let me just take note of that. Uncle Rick? question mark, question mark, question mark. Because, is that just like an off-screen, like, oh yeah, this happened to me one time.
When Percy lost his memories, actually, it was just hanging out with some sharks.
I mean, I guess it could have happened right in the beginning of the time of the sequel series. I don't know. So Annabeth lies that the Greeks and the Romans, the demigods, have united. So fighting them, for the Impusai to fight them, would be foolish. I think this is very interesting because that was the whole plan of going through the Mark of Athena quest and the statue and all of that. It certainly has not happened yet, but I like her trying to kind of get ahead of things.
Well, like they don't know, and they're not going to find out. So.
Yeah, I like it. Like, there's no way to fact check it, and I feel like they can try to keep this lie going.
Yeah, for sure.
Even without Charm Speak, so sure, why not? The Impusai are scared at the mention of Romans, and Percy's like, oh yeah, Romans, so he rolls with it. He shows his tattoo, which I completely forgot that he had. I 100% forgot that he had this thing, but he shows the tattoo, and then he says, you mix Greek and Roman, and you know what you get? You get bam, and then stomps his foot on the ground. And hopefully this joke will land, but I wrote, okay, Emeril Lagasse. No, it doesn't. Okay, so... Do you all have the Food Network or something similar here? Like a channel where people cook food and stuff?
Yeah, but it's like pay TV. Not everyone has pay TV. So like yes and no.
Okay. In America, we have a channel called the Food Network. And as the name would suggest, there's lots of cooking shows and stuff.
I would hope.
So internet sensations that you might know, like Bobby Flay or Paula Deen or Emeril Lagasse or...
Is that show where the guy who like puts them in ridiculous challenges?
Yeah. So,
is that from the Food Network?
Yes. That is Cutthroat Kitchen, hosted by Alton Brown.
That's the name.
Yeah, that one's fantastic. That is one where you have to cook and then something will happen where it's like, actually, you have to use an Easy Bake Oven. Do you guys have Easy Bake Ovens?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. Or at least that's enough of a cultural...
Okay,
like,
sweet. Good. So on the Food Network, and this is even like a little bit before my time, like I was young when the show was going on, but I believe there was a show called, I don't know if Emeril had another show, but it was like Emeril Live, and it was this Italian chef, Emeril Lagasse, and he would cook in front of like a live studio audience with like a crowd and everything.
Yep.
And his whole thing is when he added spices or salt or whatever, he would go bam, and that became like his trademark. And he would be like bam, bam, like he would do it multiple times.
Who loved this reference.
Sure. And I wonder if that's what Rick was going for, because it's like perfectly outdated enough for him to be like, this is a cool thing to put in the book. But that's
also,
all I
like,
could think
yeah,
of.
because I was like, Percy, that's not your best line. Like it's a bit awkward. Like,
right. And that's also why I think it might be an Emeril reference. Again, I might have to ask Michael Rick, but like mixing Greek and Roman, it felt like, you're mixing the ingredients together and bam. I don't know.
The Australian equivalent to me would be Ready, Steady, Cook, which had Team Tomato, Team Capsicum.
What is Ready, Steady, Cook? That sounds super fun.
That was a show on Channel 10, which is one of our free-to-air channels, in the 2000s that was on in the middle of the day, so you only ever watched it if you were homesick.
Okay, nice. Yeah. That's Price is Right for us. Yeah.
Basically, it was just two chefs. One was Team Tomato, one was Team Capsicum, bell pepper.
Yep. Yes,
and then there would be a crowd and an audience. And at the end
it was Team Bell Pepper and Team...
Tomato.
Oh, Tomato. Okay, sorry.
Or tomato.
Yeah. Well, you say,
And then at the end of the episode, everyone would hold up a big card with a picture of a tomato or a capsicum on it and say which they preferred.
Wow.
So that was the real crossover to the tomato and the capsicums.
I like
Greeks
it. I also
and the Romans.
I love capsicum. It's capsicum?
Yeah.
Sorry, how do I...
Yeah.
Sorry, I don't want to...
Yeah.
Not... Hey, never get your head out of the gutter. So, capsicum. Capsicum.
Yeah.
That's so much more fun than bell pepper.
Yeah.
Whoa, wait, hold on.
There's an S in there as well.
Okay, the Google AI thing, which is always wrong, says it... sweet peppers. From far away, I thought it said sweet potatoes. And I was like, peppers and sweet potatoes are so different, Google AI. Get out of here. But yeah, I was buying one when we were in Sydney, and I saw this thing, and I was like, surely this is a bell pepper. I don't know what this word is. I'm pretty sure they speak English in this country. But I'm going to get it. And then it was so expensive. I'm not buying them anymore. Your name is cool, but you're like, you know what we've decided to do? Triple the price. So I've not eaten one since. It was delicious, but it was too expensive.
Yeah, I feel like we don't grow them here.
That has to be.
Yeah, it has to be.
On the flip side, Kelly, have you left? Okay, sweet. My baby's been eating nectarines left and right. We got to start spelling the word out, because if we mention nectarines, she literally will just go like, nectarines!
Today, while we were playing cricket, Mike was holding the red ball, and she thought it was a nectarine. And so Kelly had to give her a nectarine.
Yep, that's what we've literally had to start like putting them in bags, because at any moment, I mean, they are very good, so I defend it. And I love Woolworths in general, but I love that Woolworths has the little basket of like free fruit for kids, which is great. Though the one that we've been going to here, it's been empty a couple of the times, so we just give her a fruit, and we're like, we're gonna pretend.
It's fine.
And we do this because one time we were in Sydney doing this, and she had already eaten a free one, and then we were going to like pay for another one. And the person working there was like, just eat it. It's a nectarine. Just eat it. So we're kind of taking the chill approach with it.
Yes.
But love it. I very much enjoy the grocery store situation here, and the nectarines are really good. I get it. I also love that you have crocodile egg plums. Like, what a fun name. It's so fun. So anyway, Percy Jackson. Kelly then I thinks that this approach from Percy and Annabeth is bold, given that they are two demigods lost in Tartarus. So them trying to have the upper hand here just feels foolish. But then Annabeth has an idea. She asks, aren't Impusae servants of Hecate? And Kelly goes, so? And Annabeth explains that Hecate is on their side now, and she would be furious if she learned that the Impusae were betraying her by attacking them. And I was at first really confused, because I was thinking, how does Annabeth know this?
Yeah.
And I was trying to like retrace my steps. Like, there was no way in which they
Hazel
communicated.
But at the same time, they will know.
Right. So I was really confused. How did she know this? Was this like a mistake that Rick made? And then Annabeth continues, and she just explains that Hecate now has a cabin at Camp Half-Blood, and some of her friends are children of Hecate. I was like, oh, okay. This is just a very fortunate crossover. Just a perfect situation.
She's going to be so excited when she gets out and be like, oh my God, Hazel, you've been hanging out with Hecate?
Oh, wow. Cool. That lie had extra power. Yeah. So she's bluffing, but it's actually spitting the truth. Narrator Percy says, quote, Percy wanted to hug Annabeth. She was so brilliant. And I love that. Like, it's such a sweet sentiment. And I feel this about Kelly sometimes. Everyone tell her that I said nice thing about her. But yeah, I think this is just such a sweet thing. And as we said at the show in Perth, like, it's just so fun to see Percy and Annabeth being together.
Yeah.
Doing cute coupley stuff, even though they are in Tartarus. Because we really didn't get to see that in the first 5 books.
No.
It took so long for them to to finally get together. And then obviously they're split for the first 2 books, not split up, but split
Percy
memory and location
forever, but not really.
So it's fun now that they're finally back together to do some cute coupley stuff, even given the circumstances. So Serephone, who was causing trouble earlier when we had the Impusai before, she asks if this is true. And Kelly says, "Shut up, you're so annoying." Serephone says that she won't cross Hecate, and Annabeth says that this team of Ampusai would be better following the older and wiser Serephone, and Serephone agrees and calls for their loyalty to her instead of Kelly with an I.
I feel like I must have forgotten something because I was like, how did Annabeth know that she's older?
I'm thinking just looks. Because, I don't think they've... I don't know that they've talked, but there was a part earlier where Serephone was arguing that she should be in charge. So maybe they overheard that. That may be what it is. But it could just be visual. But there wouldn't have been another chapter.
Reborn at the same time.
But I guess she could have existed longer before dying. She's got an older school name, right? Like Serephone is certainly older than Kelly with an I. Yeah. Meet my 2 daughters, Serephone and Kelly. Yeah. So then Kelly with an I gets very upset. She attacks Serephone and bests her quite quickly, effectively just asking, "Any other questions? Anyone else want to speak up and question my authority?" So then she tries to spin again, this time spinning that Hecate is the goddess of the mist. So knowing what she really wants could be murky and hard to understand. And Hecate is the goddess of the crossroads. So she's expecting us to make our own choices. And she's really grasping at straws.
Yeah,
here.
this is nothing.
No, this just really feels like she is someone who didn't do the homework and is trying to talk about how they definitely read chapters 14 through 20 of the Canterbury Tales or whatever.
Yeah.
I remember speed reading that in high school. Not my favorite book.
I feel like that doesn't get read here. I could be wrong, but I don't think that gets read here.
What are your classic high school books that you have to read
a
here?
lot of Shakespeare.
A lot of Shakespeare. Okay.
I read Of Two Mice and Men.
Okay.
Of Two Mice and Men? Of Mice
I was going to say, you guys call it different things here? Very fun.
A lot of Australian literature we read. So Tim
Possum
Winton.
Magic. And
Possum Magic, Wombat Stew.
Wombat Stew. Saturday Night the Dinosaur Stomp.
I am 30 and don't really remember high school, so
yeah, it's just I've never obviously you still speak English, but we would have potentially different influences. So
I didn't. A lot of people read Frankenstein.
Okay, I had to read part of Frankenstein.
One. Yeah. Mm-hmm. But not Canterbury Tales.
Okay, yeah, we only had to do an excerpt, and it wasn't particularly fun. We had it's no Pride and Prejudice. Now. So what Kelly with an I says is she is choosing the option that will bring them the most demigod blood, and that is backing Gia. And again, they're like, yeah, the demigod blood. We love that. We're all about that. Yes, thank you. More of that, please. So Annabeth then shoots Percy a look that he interprets as, I'm all out of ideas. I don't know what to do here. And it's not terrible. This plan did get one of them killed, so their odds are better. It's pretty nice. Kelly with an I explains that it took her 2 full years to reform, and the process was painful.
This description.
I think it's the first time we hear a description of the reforming process.
Yeah.
And it makes sense because I feel like of the people who have reformed before this whole Doors of Death situation, I feel like in the main books, it was kind of like the Minotaur coming back in book 5 was the first time of they can reform. And that would be, I guess, 3 years, something-ish in that ballpark. And then they make the claim that the stronger ones take longer to reform. That's why he came back and it took so long. But for her to describe basically continuing to feel the pain that she felt as you're reforming, super terrifying. Yeah. But then also something that I can more relate to is that she didn't like that it was because Annabeth, she was like, I just got stabbed in the back by a girl. And not that I've been killed before, but...
That would be crazy, guy.
I feel like regretting something, I guess this will happen more in a video game. If I'm playing, for example, Hades, the video game, and if I do die from something kind of foolish, there was a time I was playing recently. It's an intense game. You have to really kind of lock in, and you don't have a lot of health. And usually after big boss fights, you get a bunch of health. So if you can kind of survive all of the boss fights, you're good. So I was in a boss fight, and I was playing at Kelly's house over the holidays, and Kelly's mom came down and was asking, because it was late at night, and she was coming down of set, do you know how to set the house alarm and stuff like that? And I didn't want to be rude, so I was kind of like going and still talking, and then we lost. Like I ended up losing, and I was just like, oh man, if I was just paying more attention, like what if I just paused it and then like close it instead of trying to like play through and do it.
Yeah.
So I understand the whole like the lingering
it's like, of
regret.
all the ways I could have died, I
Right.
died to a 12-year-old girl. Like,
Yes.
oh.
And that's exactly like I died from something that like wasn't hard. If I had, this wasn't like the final boss, it was one of the earlier ones, and it was like a thing that I could have avoided, but I wasn't fully locked in. I was like, so I understand the like sitting with the regret, not necessarily the being murdered part of it. I would love to never experience that. That'd be so good. So good. So, because it has taken so long and it has been so painful, she has been itching for revenge. She really wants her payback to come towards Annabeth. She's also intrigued by wanting to learn what happens to a demigod that dies in Tartarus. She thinks that this might be the first time it's ever happened, so she thinks, all right,
let's find out.
Let's find out. And I will have to ask Dr. Moy whenever we do the myth check for this book.
Yeah.
It feels like surely there's got to be some myth out there where a demigod died in Tartarus.
So.
There's got to be something.
Or even like a mortal, something that's like not quite a demigod, but close enough. But because it's of all time,
right?
Surely.
There's gotta be one, right? There's gotta be one.
Yeah.
So Percy then lunges out and slashes because he senses that a fight is about to go down. So he lunges out and slashes, kills one of the other Impusi. He's going for Kelly afterwards, but she dodges and decides to go after Annabeth. So then the others go for Percy, and he's trying to help Annabeth, even though he has two climbing on him.
Yeah.
One's like on his back, one's on his arm, and he's just trying to like hobble over, like, no, I got this. No, I'll help. I got this. Annabeth then hits Kelly with an eye in the nose with a rock and then throws gravel into her eyes.
Love
so
this.
she's, fending her off.
This is why they teach them how to fight at Camp Half-Blood.
You gotta know self-defense.
Exactly.
Yeah, you really gotta know what's up. Percy tries to shake the other two off of him, but it is not working. He's unable to do so. Kelly with an eye slashes Annabeth's arm, and it's looking really rough. And then the one on his back sinks her teeth into his neck, and he feels just a rush of pain go through his body. And he is trying to tell himself, you got to stay up, you got to defeat them, you can't let them win.
Now, they're often referred to as vampires.
Correct.
Percy just got bitten on the neck by a vampire.
Yes.
Is Percy going to turn into a vampire?
Ooh. I mean,
that would be such a plot twist.
Yeah, maybe.
Oh, now, he didn't drink the blood of a vampire, which is what you need to do when you're turning, but I did go, hold on.
He didn't invite them in, right? I've seen sinners. I know not to just let people in. So, yeah, I don't know. When it happened, because he called them vampires before, and I was like, oh, okay, just like a term. But then they did very vampiric stuff, and I was like, ooh, okay.
Hold on.
But yeah, not great. So then the other one bites his arm, which is even not greater, and then he drops Riptide. Kelly with an eye is then triumphantly towering over Annabeth, and Percy thinks, our luck finally ran out. And I was like, there's another book in this series. And then there's 5 more.
It's also like chapter 15.
And then there's 3 more. Yeah, it's way too early. So I was thinking, I don't know, something's going to happen. And thankfully something does happen, because this chapter ends with the book going, quote, "Then a shadow fell across Percy. A deep war cry bellowed from somewhere above, echoing across the plains of Tartarus, and a Titan dropped onto the battlefield."
This
is
go.
Great. We said when we were doing the show before that this cannot be a situation where Bob gets referenced and not show up. So Chekhov's Bob has taken place. We need Bob, and I'm so glad that this is Bob, or at least at the time I was like, this surely is 99% chance Bob.
If it wasn't Bob, it was going to be really out.
Yeah, could be someone else, but pretty sure at this point it was Bob. But that made me very excited. Obviously, you don't want our 2 friends to die, so for him to come in is great. But that is the end of chapter 15, which I had a tough time retitling. I didn't feel great about it.
It was pretty short as well, like a lot to go off.
Yeah, I went with a Titanic defeat just because maybe going in you think, that means they're going to lose. But actually, the Titanic defeat is that the Titan defeats them. What did you retitle chapter 15?
An impossible position.
Very good. Very good stuff. I love it. I love it. Let's do chapter 16, which is even shorter. It's called Percy. So this one opens with, quote, Percy thought he was hallucinating. It just wasn't possible that a huge silvery figure could drop out of the sky and stomp Kelly with an eye flat, trampling her into a mound of monster dust. But yeah, dude, that is exactly what happened.
Yeah.
And it's absolutely fantastic. We get a little bit of a Bob recap in case you didn't read the Demigod Files.
Which I would be so interested to know people that didn't read the Demigod Files to be like, why do they just know this Titan? Like,
Okay, let's pull the room. Who, when you read this, had not read the Demigod Files?
okay, majority
so
of
like
people.
maybe like just under half or a third of the room, and then how many of you stopped reading, read the Demigod Files, and then continued? Okay, two folks. That's what I would have done.
Yeah, 'cause
I would have been like,
hold
whoa. Because that's my approach to things. This is why I am not caught up on the Marvel universe at all. Like, I tried to watch one of the things, and they were like, you got to watch this TV show, and I was like,
no.
with what time?
Yeah. After
Yeah.
like WandaVision, I was like, that's it. I'm done.
I think I did the new Captain America. I did the new one. I think Loki was the last one.
Yeah,
And
okay.
then there was something else, and I was like, there was something where I was just like, I can't.
All of those movies now are, I think I've made this reference at every show, 0 point at screen, and I can't keep up with all the things. I don't have
Right.
enough time to keep pointing at the screen.
Yeah, I'm kind of glad they're doing like the refresh, but even with that, there was something where they had the trailer about Thor coming back, and they said a thing, and I was like,
What is that reference?
well, yeah, I guess spoiler alert if you care, but it was this thing where Thor was like, I didn't expect to become a father. I was like, when did you get a kid? What? And they were like, oh, in the fourth Thor. And I was like, oh, right, yeah.
No, I did. Actually, that was probably the last one I watched, which was bad. I didn't. Clearly, it was so bad I didn't remember him having a kid. So,
So yeah, I was like, oh, that maybe I had to do some homework. So yeah, that would have been my approach. I would have immediately gone back. So I'm very glad that I read the Demigod Files. And as I have said, we said it at the show before, but just of all of the things to become relevant, it's so funny that when I read the Demigod Files, because it was hinted like it'll come up in future books,
Yeah.
you should pay attention. Going in, I was like, clearly this Sword of Hades will be super important. And all the other stuff, whatever. And the two main things being the bronze dragon and the big titan, those being the more important things, is absurd. I never would have guessed that. It's so
Thank you,
funny.
Rick.
Shout out to Rick. So we get a Bob recap. He's 10 feet tall. He has Einstein-like hair. He's absolutely ripped. He is silver. He's wearing a janitor's uniform, and he has a broom in one hand. And very surprisingly to Percy, he does have a name tag that says Bob.
love. Just so good.
So good. So good. Annabeth is understandably afraid, so she kind of scurries away a little bit, but Bob goes after the other two Impusi that he has not bested yet, and one foolishly decides to attack Bob, and he gets her with the spear end of his broom, so the other end of the broom is a spear, so conquers the Impusi with that, and then the final vampire tries to run, but then Bob throws it, and at first when they said throws it, I was like, okay, yeah, like a spear, and I was getting ready to type that, because it just made sense.
Yeah.
And then, very glad I'm here in Australia for this, he throws it like a boomerang. Incredible. And Percy wonders if there is such a thing as a boomerang. Oh, Rick.
So
Rick.
it's very good.
What was your reaction?
However, boomerangs have a very specific shape.
Yes.
So I was like, why is Bob's broom bent?
That was the other thing. When he said through, I was like, I've seen brooms, and I feel like they are straight and then perpendicular, and
Yeah.
I've seen boomerangs, and I feel like they are curved.
And I feel like the sweeping bit, the bristles, would throw off the aerodynamics,
Right.
even if it was bent.
Right. Like, I feel like it would be hard enough just to like throw it like a frisbee, like just to get it to spin would be a lot. And then to get it to come back, look, I guess the answer is Greek mythology.
Look, yeah.
You know.
Or Percy doesn't actually know what a boomerang is, and and it doesn't come back.
That's very funny. But I think it does mention that it does come back into his hands. But like, yeah, the fact that it was cool and I was very delighted.
Yeah,
It's so funny that the stars usually align where some sort of
Yeah.
perfect reference will happen for these live shows. It always seems to line up. So for a boomerang reference to come up on the Australia tour is absolutely perfect. It's so good. It's so good. I'm really looking forward to when he hits someone in the head like a cricket
with a bat, yeah.
So the boomerang, when he throws it, it slices through the two Impusi, and then it comes back into Bob's hand. He grins, does a little victory dance, and goes, sweep, 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 sweep. Amazing. I love Bob so much.
Great.
So good. I hope Bob sticks around for the remaining chapters of Tartarus.
Yes.
I hope he's around. They clearly need the help.
Yes.
They need the firepower. We will soon see that he has healing touch powers.
Yeah.
Like, he's the absolute perfect addition to the roster. He's big, so they can even go faster.
Yes.
Because they could just ride on his shoulders.
Piggyback.
Yes.
I was going to say, that's a cross-culture thing, piggyback.
Yes, piggyback. Yeah,
okay.
Yeah, it's not like wombat-back or something else here. So Percy is stunned silent that something went right for them. Annabeth is similarly shocked, and she asks, how? And Bob says that Percy called him. And I didn't remember this happening, and as we will go on, I think it's just that Percy referenced Bob's existence.
Yeah, he just said Bob.
And Bob was like, my friend! So when Bob says this, Annabeth goes, oh, you're the Bob. As if there was another Bob the Titan.
Yeah, all the Bobs that are in Tartarus.
All the Bob the Titans that are here. So Bob sees Annabeth's wound and goes, owie, which is great. Annabeth is a bit hesitant to receive his help at first, but Percy insists that he's nice, he's kind, let him help you out. And then Percy remembers that Bob healed his bad shoulder in the Demigod Files when he had that terrible situation. One of the times Percy was most injured, and then Bob helped him out, which was awesome. So Bob is able to use his healing ability. He taps Annabeth's wound and it instantly heals, which is great. He then also heals Percy's neck and Percy's arm. He does it all while giggling, which is so lovely.
Great.
And Percy notes that he has surprisingly warm and gentle hands. A nice touch. Bob is so stoked to help out, announcing very proudly that he is Percy's friend. Bob! Fantastic.
Everyone loves being Percy's friend. It's so nice.
Tyson loves it.
Yeah.
Bob loves it. Grover loves it. It's just, he's a good friend.
I mean, why would you not want to be friends with Percy?
Yeah. No, he's so cool. And Percy's a good friend back to people.
Yeah, exactly.
So it totally works out. Percy thanks him and says that it's good to see him again. And then the book has this exchange. Yes, the janitor agreed. Bob, that's me. Bob, Bob, Bob. He shuffled around, obviously pleased with his name. I am helping. I heard my name. Upstairs in Hades' palace. Nobody calls for Bob unless there is a mess. Bob, sweep up these bones. Bob, mop up these tortured souls. Bob, a zombie exploded in the dining room. Fantastic. I'm loving having Bob back.
Like, Hades. All right. Why?
Right.
What was he doing before?
That's what I need to know. Like, I feel like I need, and maybe this will come up in the demigod, whatever the next interstitial book is, the demigod journal. Like, I need to know what happened between Bob is here, and we've turned him from evil Bob to good Bob in the demigod files, and what happens between that and I am the official janitor of the House of Hades. But it does give me a lot of hope for them going to the House of Hades. He should have a set of keys.
Yeah, I'd hope so.
If my stereotypical knowledge of janitors is to be believed.
My gut is that it has something to do with Demeter. I feel like she would be the one putting it to work.
Okay, I mean, she was in the demigod files.
She was there, and she was acting like a mother-in-law, and I'm sure she's happy to have someone to clean up around the place.
But look, he's doing well for himself. He's got a job. He's got a cool boomerang spear combo situation going on. His hair's great. It's going well. Annabeth gives Percy a look of confusion. Percy also has no clue what's going on. And then Bob continues, then I heard my friend call. Percy said, Bob. So Bob helps Percy up. Percy asks how he got here. And Bob, taking a page out of Chiron's book, says, we will talk later. Because, quote, we must go before they find you. They are coming. Yes, indeed. And then Annabeth asks, they? And then Percy looks out over onto the horizon and sees no approaching monsters, and Bob says that he knows a way, and he ends this chapter by saying, quote, come on, friends, we will have fun. And that's the end of chapter 16. And then chapter 17 is a new narrator, so we have to wait 4 chapters to learn who he's talking about.
Classic.
Chiron has gotten to Bob,
I was
too.
Say, actually, it wasn't Demeter, it was Chiron that made sure that Bob was in the palace. It's like, you cannot say anything to them. You have to stay silent.
Gotta be. So that's the end of chapter 16, which I have just retitled Boomerang in all caps.
I renamed it Bobarang.
Yeah, very good. Yeah. Nothing else to title it. So we'll do a little bit of chapter 17, and then we'll break for intermission, and then we'll conclude chapter 17 after intermission. So I was very delighted to see that chapter 17's title was Frank.
Oh, we were so high, Mike. Yay!
Very excited. We were very, very excited. We were trying to guess because Polly, for context, is at the same spot as me. She's keeping up to wherever these shows are. So we didn't know what was going on. We were wondering, is it going to be Hazel again? Are they going to bring someone new in? So we've got Frank. I am sad that we have no Hazel, but that doesn't mean that
She's not coming back at all.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Like it could be now if we're looking at like the
Big plot.
the big thing. We had Hazel and then Annabeth and then Leo and then Percy and then Frank. So then it could go back to Annabeth and then Jason, I hope. Yeah. Right. I would hope Jason just because he hasn't been the narrator.
In a while. Yeah.
So then it could go Jason. So that could be in play.
Which I would be happy with. I think it would be nice to be able to hear from all of them in one book.
Yeah, it would be very nice. It even opens the door for other narrators, like Nico could be a narrator. Like we've got possibilities, which is very exciting. But I was just delighted to see Frank. I don't want there to be less Hazel, so I want to see what the structure is. But to see Frank had me super stoked because we haven't had him as a narrator since The Son of Neptune. So it's been too long.
Yeah.
So this opens with, quote, Frank woke up as a python, which puzzled him. And... Powerful.
Yeah.
Powerful opening.
Yeah.
I was trying to remember when did he last go to sleep? Was he some sort of animal? What was going on? But he later
find out.
that it wasn't that because I was like, oh, was there some sort of like action and then he went to sleep? No. So
no, because if it was, it would have been a gorilla because that was the last thing we saw him as.
Yeah, he was a gorilla when they were fighting the dwarf.
Yeah.
Smaller monkeys. Yeah. So, as the narrator, he explains that he's never changed from one form to another in his sleep before. Narrator Frank says, quote, he was pretty sure he hadn't dozed off as a snake. Usually, he slept like a dog. And I was like, But then, no, he literally means that.
Yeah.
Because he says that he gets better sleep if he's curled up as a bulldog.
I had so many questions.
I had so many questions of, does he do this every single night?
How did he figure this out?
How did he figure it out? And then also
bulldogs don't sleep well.
Okay, that was my question. Like, I know I've never owned a dog. I know nothing about dogs.
Bulldogs specifically, I don't think have very good nostrils.
Correct.
So they can't breathe very well.
Yeah.
And I have a feeling they also don't sleep well because of that. So I was like, for all the dogs, for this too. However, I do think it lined up perfectly because we were in Melbourne and one of the football teams, and the only dog-specific football team is the Bulldogs.
Okay, they're in the AFL.
They are in the AFL.
Along with the 9 other Melbourne teams, or 8 other for 9 total. My apologies. Yeah. We did go to the AFL store today because we were trying to get one of the novelty pens that sings the songs, because when we were here last time, we went to an AFLW game in Sydney with Polly, and it was the Greater Western Sydney Giants and the Gold Coast Suns, the 2 best song teams in the league. Say what you want. I know nothing about the quality of the teams. I know some things about things like I know the Geelong Cats are good.
Well done.
I called them Geelong in Perth and 95 people laughed at me.
In Perth.
Yeah. So I know, but we heard the Greater Western Sydney Giants song. Good.
Okay, so I did not preface that they were going to play a song.
Oh, I had no idea.
Yeah, and so as we're walking out after the Giants had won, Kelly and Mike just both go like, what is this song? What is happening? And I had to explain to them. I was like, oh yeah, if they win, they play their song. And they're like, hold on. The teams have songs? I was like,
and then it opened a whole door.
Can of worms,
So we became obsessed with the Greater Western Sydney Giants song. I think we did it at the Melbourne show where I played it like at intermission. It was the whole thing. It's so good. So we don't have to belabor it too long. What do you mean? Oh, Jesus, that song rips. There's a big, big sound. It's such a big sound. It's from the west of the town. You're quaking in your boots. So there was an AFL like novelty store in Victoria Market, and they had these pens that if you click it, it played the song. But at the time, all of the songs were on Spotify. So we were like, oh, we don't have to get this pen. We can just like play the song whenever we want. But now those songs have been removed from Spotify, so it's harder to play it. And now we're here, and Kelly's like, let's get that pen. So we went to where the official store was, not there anymore. We went to the Victoria Market store, not there anymore. We went to a different sports store that has a bunch of AFL stuff, and they had the pens of like 8 teams, but not the Greater Western Sydney Giants.
Because we are not in Greater Western Sydney.
I know.
I also went to a different store today to see they didn't have any either.
Dang it.
Yeah.
But they had like not just the Melbourne teams, like because they had the Port Adelaide Power. Yeah. I will say just like stylistically, I have all the different things I like the most. The Port Adelaide, I think they have the coolest like color combo.
Yeah,
the black and the teal and the PA, I think looks really nice.
I'm a big like Freo fan. Like as in, I'm not a Freo fan. I'm a big fan of their color scheme as well, especially when they use the red and green as well.
Okay.
So it's red, green, purple, white.
Very fun.
Yeah, it's
very
the most fun.
Yeah, so they did not have a Great Western Sydney Giants pen, so we had to settle for the Gold Coast Suns pen. So we did pick up that. You can get the Giants pen online, but to ship it internationally, it's like $60 of shipping. It's like the pen costs like $16, and then the shipping is $60. It's like, oh, how badly. We might have.
Do we want your child to run out the battery on a pen?
I mean, she does love, like, the whole walk home, she was like, again. And then she would, like, shake her head, like, when the song was going on. She loved it. So we might do. We also might have the pen shipped to either you or one of our other friends, because surely it's like $10 for Australia shipping. We're like, surely that plus shipping it to us. Like, I know how much it costs to send the shirts over here, or like when Potterless for Patreon did shirts, like that was like $20.
Yeah.
So we can add it up, and surely a pen will be cheaper. So we might get it in another means. But yeah, how the hell did we get on this tangent? Oh, the Bulldogs. The Bulldogs. The Bulldogs. Yeah. The Bulldogs. Right.
Hey, I will tangent to talk about AFL anytime. You know this.
Yeah, I know.
Me,
I'm so upset that there were no games to watch this time around.
Because
the shame
you
of
came
the
in summer.
I know.
So next time it needs to be like September.
Right. I think that for the third Australia tour, like the first time it was like we very much did the vacation stuff and then fit tour around it. This time it was like, let's get the show dates and then fit vacation around it. Third time it'll be like, let's look at the AFL schedule. And who has the best songs and go to those games. And I will also be forcing you to be going to a Swans game with me. Oh, got to. I got to. Yeah. No, I want to go to a Swans game so badly. That'd be very fun. All right. So anyway, Percy Jackson. So he says he gets better sleep if he's curled up as a bulldog. Narrator Frank says, quote, for whatever reason, his nightmares didn't bother him as much. The constant screaming in his head almost disappeared. And I was like, Frank, you good, bro?
The answer is no.
Yeah, he is not. He starts to explain, and it sounds not ideal. Narrator Frank says, quote, he had no idea why he'd become a reticulated python. And I was like, I know what that is for sure. I'm assuming everyone in Australia does, since you have all of the snakes and all of the things.
I don't think we actually have pythons here. I could be wrong. But I feel like reticulated pythons were talked about a lot in our childhood. It's one of those things like
quicksand.
Yeah. So maybe not. Maybe that's a New South Wales thing. I don't know. But I was like, yeah, I know what that is.
So what is a reticulated? Is that the one where the jaw unhinges? Yeah. Okay, that's what I guess from context clues, because Frank then says, quote, but it did explain his dream about slowly swallowing a cow. His jaw was still sore. I did get a text message from Kelly just now. They found some swings. Let's go. Damn. There was a point where I took the baby to the park while Kelly was doing a little like coffee tour thing, because Melbourne's coffee is very good and Kelly's a big coffee drinker. And I took the baby to the park and we swang for an hour and 15 minutes. Awesome. She was having the time of her life. It was great. Okay, reticulated pythons, naturally his jaw's still sore. So he changes back into a human. Immediately his headache returns, as do the voices in his head. And he explains as the narrator what these voices are. It's Mars yelling, fight them, take this ship, defend Rome, and Ares yelling, kill the Romans, blood and death, large guns. So
this is crazy.
It's wild. It's absolutely wild. And there's also classic war noises in the background, like explosions and guns and jet engines and sirens and all that kind of stuff.
And he goes on to say that he's been feeling this way for a while and he's worried his friends have noticed that something's wrong. And I'm like, yeah, in the previous chapters, he did seem a little bit off. And so knowing this, I'm like, okay, if I constantly had my two dads fighting in my head, I would go insane.
It makes me want to reread the
first few chapters.
And then also the Mark of Athena, because he says it started ever since the fighting happened at Camp Jupiter, which is the first chapters of Mark of Athena. And I didn't feel like Frank was completely out of whack, so I feel like this is something where Rick did it after the fact. My guess is that Rick wouldn't have necessarily known of this, because it didn't feel like for the whole book everyone's like, what the hell is going on with Frank?
Yeah, but I don't think his friends have noticed, which is not great.
No, they do have a lot going on at the moment.
I know,
but
but yeah, I was just like, this brought up a whole other questions. Is this happening to all the oh my god, Mars and Ares demigods?
Yeah.
Is this happen every time there's a war?
Yeah, I don't know.
Like, it's just really interesting. Interesting.
I would guess that it is just this specific situation, given that there's a war and that it is seeming like it's going to be between the Greeks and the Romans. Yes. And also, I think it could just be specifically with Mars Ares, because something that I've clued into is that Mars and Ares are very different.
Yes.
Like, of all of the switches from the different aspects, it really feels like these two are very different. I like Mars a lot. Ares, nah. So I feel like that could also be a factor. Just they are so diametrically opposed that is what's causing the chaos in here. So Frank sits up, he takes a deep breath, and he stares at the lamp on his desk, which burns magic olive oil from the supply room. What makes it magic?
It never runs out?
Higher smoking point?
Yeah.
I don't know.
I do like that they're specifically using olive oil while they're in Italy. I think that's a nice touch.
Oh, you got to do it. You got to do it. Yeah, I feel like maybe you're right. I think it would just be he doesn't have to keep refilling olive oil in there. But Frank, as the narrator, lets us know that fire does scare him because of his whole "if this stick burns, I die" thing. But the fire being here helps him focus. Like the little bit of fear kind of helps him lock in. The noise goes away and kind of fades out into the background. He notes that he has been better lately, but for days he was completely worthless. He explains that once there was fighting at Camp Jupiter, the voices in his head started screaming nonstop. And that would stink so bad. Like, I don't know, if anyone's ever had a migraine, like it's the worst. I can't imagine just constantly just like, I
literally wrote in my notes, he needs to take some Max Salt. So if any of my migraine girlies out there, that's a specific migraine medication.
Yeah, we would do something like Excedrin.
Okay.
I remember, but I don't think you guys have Excedrin here. So Kelly last time had to like piece together Excedrin because it's like Excedrin is... It's like Tylenol and it's like Tylenol, aspirin, and caffeine, I think are the three things. So Kelly was able to get like Tylenol, aspirin, but then couldn't do caffeine, so she would keep drinking like Coca-Cola. And then she's like, all three components. I think that's what it is. If I was wrong about it, don't at me. I'm not the...
Who cares? It doesn't matter.
I had one migraine, which is exactly the correct amount everyone should have. You should have
at least one.
Everyone should have one because there's too many people that think migraine is just like bad headache.
Yes.
It's not just bad headache.
It is
your day is ruined.
Or multiple days.
Sure. Oh my God. Yeah, mine lingered for a couple days. It's awful. So yeah, I think everyone should exactly have one. And then you can have sympathy for folks who have them multiple times and understand like I got to do whatever I can. Because it'll happen in sports sometimes where like someone will miss a game like in the NBA. It'll be like, oh, Scottie Pippen had a migraine and he couldn't play. People will be like, what a baby. It's like, you clearly have never had a migraine. Can you imagine being under bright lights and running around and having to put a ball through a small hoop? No, absolutely not. No, it sounds horrible. So he says he's been feeling better lately, but it wasn't good for quite some time. He feels like he's been acting a fool, and he's convinced that his friends have noticed and they think that he's gone loopy. Frank doesn't tell the team what's up because he doesn't think that they can help, and he's pretty sure that no one else is going through the situation that he's going through.
Frank, I have a great suggestion for you. There's this great podcast called Professional Talkers.
Yeah.
The most recent episode that just came out is about asking your friends for help.
It's really good. We're getting good feedback on it. But yeah, it's funny that I feel that it's all coming down to you have to make the story interesting and you have to have like things like I think the big reason for all of this is book, but it is funny that it seems that each of the seven has something where they're like, oh, I didn't want to like pile on. It's like you guys every day should have just a big like decompression session. And just all sit down and be like, what's going on with you? Oh, this thing. What's going on with you? My dads are screaming at me. What?
Hold on.
Like they should always be talking it out. Frank thinks that the time is now to get it together. And the reason that the time is now is because Annabeth is gone. And I love that Frank respects Annabeth so much. So
nice.
Sweet.
Because the only real Frank thing I can remember from Mark of Athena is when him and Annabeth had that big DnM.
Yes.
And it's really nice that he does respect her so much. And
Did you say that big DnM?
Yeah.
What is that?
Oh. Stands for deep and meaningful.
Whoa.
So if you have like
That's cool.
If you have like a really intense like one-on-one with
like
someone.
Like a heart-to-heart.
Heart-to-heart,
okay.
yeah. It's a DnM.
DnM, that's good.
Yeah.
Wow. That's great.
Yeah, okay. But yes, it's really nice that that's carried on because I'm getting to the point now where I don't really remember who likes each other and who's a bit like...
Oh, yeah.
So to know Frank is like, yes, I like Annabeth.
I like
we
Annabeth.
have a good relationship going on. Happy with that.
Right. Like that, Leo. Narrative Frank says, quote, Annabeth had been kind to him. Even when he was so distracted he'd acted like a buffoon, Annabeth had been patient and helpful. While Ares screamed that Athena's children couldn't be trusted and Mars bellowed at him to kill all the Greeks, Frank had grown to respect Annabeth. And Frank also feels a bit of pressure because he feels like he is the next best military strategist in her absence. So he misses Annabeth. He knows that she's a good leader. He also feels pressure. A lot of stuff going on for Frank right now.
Which I feel like with Jason having stepped up a little bit, hopefully he's not feeling this as much.
Yeah, but I guess Jason's not the planning type.
No.
Jason's usually like, can someone tell me where? Yeah, we're here. I can summon lightning. Where should it go? You just tell me where and I'll zap, but just like, let me know. So yeah, I understand Frank's feelings
Feeling,
here.
yeah.
I get what he is getting at. So then he gets dressed and he notes that he was able to buy new clothes, which is very good. I love that loop was closed and tied because had to know what went down.
Yeah.
He bought some new clothes and he very briefly explains that there was a whole laundry fiasco with Leo, but then in parentheses, as the narrator, he goes, long story. He does a little bit of firewood explaining.
Explains why he was wearing that Chow shirt a few chapters ago.
Oh, because he needed. That is why he was wearing the shirt that says Chow. That's great. I didn't even think about that. Yeah, because he needed the new clothes.
Yes.
Great. Good stuff. Oh, man. Is it even a word?
Yeah.
That Leo asked that. I've seen
come
Chow a couple of times in the wild here because of like all of the gelato stores and stuff. And every time I see it, I just go, is it even a word? Leo. So Frank does a little bit of firewood explaining, if you haven't read that book, and how it keeps him alive, how Hazel's watching over it, how Hazel watching over it makes him feel safe, like having a seatbelt on.
Really
so
nice.
really, really sweet. Narrator Frank then says the following, quote, he slung his bow and quiver over his shoulder. Immediately, they morphed into a regular backpack. Frank loved that. He never would have known about the quiver's camouflage power if Leo hadn't figured it out for him. And this feels like Rick thought about this between writing books 3 and 4.
Thank God, because I was like, this has not been brought up before.
No, it absolutely is not. It's a new thing. And I feel like Rick was like, oh, yeah, ooh. He doesn't need to be carrying around a big clunky bow.
Who's walking around with a bow and arrow?
Yeah, having it be a backpack is good. It makes more sense. And I think it is true to form for a child of Mars/Aries because we saw that Aries had, his helm turned into, like his helmet for his bike.
Yeah.
Like he's had stuff turned into stuff. Yes. So I think it makes sense. It tracks. So Mars then calls for Leo's death once Frank thinks about Leo, and then Aries calls for him to be throttled before saying everyone should be throttled, before asking, who are we talking about again? And then we get a little bit of the Leo starting the battle in Camp Jupiter backstory, in case you didn't get that from Mark of Athena. And the narrator Frank talks about how Ares wants revenge at each of Leo's little snide remarks, but there's one in particular that sticks out to Frank. And this, just crushed me. Because there's little things here and there, and obviously you've got the tension of the Hazel of it all, and the Frank and Hazel are together, but Leo and Hazel have the whole Sammy angle. But the one comment that I didn't even clock as really mean at the time, but I'm so glad Frank brought it up, is Leo said, quote, when they're talking about how much each of them was worth, I can understand not being as pricey as Jason or Percy, but am I worth like 2 or 3 francs? Which at the time I was like, oh, I get it. A funny like Frank pun. Haha, currency.
Oh, that's
and
definitely
then Frank,
not
but
weird.
no, but also
No.
I think he's going for both. But for Frank to kind of internalize this, and he even recognizes it, like as the narrator, he says, quote, just another one of Leo's stupid jokes, but the comment hit a little too close to home. On the Argo 2, Frank definitely felt like the LVP, least valuable player. I love that Rick does explain it for all of the nerds.
Yeah. I mean, it's also not a thing.
It's not a real. He does. Yeah, he probably should
Who was
explain
the
it.
worst on your team this year, guys?
Do it. Yeah. Sure, he could turn into animals. So what? I was like, so what? That is so helpful in so many different instances.
I think that we keep having a thing with the boys specifically of them not appreciating their own value.
Yeah.
The girls not as much.
Right.
Annabeth a little bit, but the boys in particular are just like, I am not good and I suck at this but it's like, guys, you literally can turn into any animal and you've kind of learned how to control it at this point.
Yeah. I think the problem is that Percy has very cool powers and Jason has very cool powers too. Yeah. So I understand Leo and Frank feeling a little bit like they're behind, but I don't know. I think they just need to
Guy
embrace...
who can summon fire and guy who can turn into animal have bad power,
apparently? It's pretty good,
Yeah.
guys. I think they just need to bring more of the mindset of like, we're all on the same team. We're all bringing different things. And like every basketball team needs a sharpshooter. Like you need a defender. I don't know. What's an AFL version of this? Every team needs
a small forward, a small back.
Yeah.
Or any of the above, really.
Yeah.
Actually, a tagger. That's a controversial opinion, but every team needs a tagger.
You need the person who, they like throw the ball down or they throw the ball up or there's
None of the players throw the ball.
It's the refs. It's just the ref. Rugby, they do the thing where they hold people up.
Yeah,
Did they do that in AFL? I can't recall.
Not
No,
really.
not yet.
You're more likely to jump on someone's back. They're not going to lift you up.
Wild.
Yeah.
What a sport. It's so good. That sport ripped. I got to see another match. But anyway, Frank goes on saying that his biggest claim to helpfulness so far was changing into a weasel to escape from an underground workshop. And even that had been Leo's idea. Frank was better known for the giant goldfish fiasco in Atlanta and just yesterday for turning into a 200-kilo gorilla. And I love that it was 200 kilo.
Because
I've got
version.
the UK version. So I'm assuming it would be like a 400-pound gorilla.
It's about that, yeah.
Yeah, a 200-kilo gorilla, only to get knocked senseless by a flashbang grenade. And then he ends this with, Leo hadn't made any gorilla jokes at his expense yet, but it was only a matter of time. Which is great, and I feel like that is a great place to pause for intermission. Woo! So, if you are listening to the podcast after the fact, we will take our mid-roll break, which I believe the running title we've been going with was suggested at the Perth show, which is the House of Headlines, which is really good. So, let's all here say goodbye to the podcast people. Goodbye, podcast people! Hello, and welcome to the House of Headlines, mostly Auxiliary Shubio edition. I say that because I'm recording this one on Saturday, March 14th from the Auxiliary Shubio, but when I'm posting and everything for the episode, it will be Sunday, and I will probably be on my way to Washington, D.C. so that I can go to Vienna, Virginia for the live show. Patrons might get this episode quite early because I would love to finish this episode by Saturday night, but we'll see. It's already 9:45 p.m. as I'm recording this, so who knows? But let's talk about updates with the podcast. So I'm very excited to announce that we are streaming the show on April 20th in Atlanta, Georgia. So that is a 7 p.m. Eastern time show that will be streamed all over the place. If you go to thenewsolympian.com/live, you'll see a link for Atlanta live stream tickets. Those tickets are $15 to get the access to the stream and then a 7-day replay. And if you are a patron, you get 20% off tickets. So that's pretty cool. You can go to the TNO Patreon to see what the code is. But yeah, you can watch it live. You can watch the replay after. You can just watch the replay if that day and time doesn't work for you to stream it, but the plan is to cover chapter 35 and 36 of the House of Hades. I know chapter 36 is an important chapter. I don't know exactly why. I have a guess, but I don't know exactly why. We'll be covering it with Ashley Latimer, who you might remember from past appearances on the podcast, ran Rick's social media, ran the social media for the Lightning Thief musical. Ashley was Mix Thief. So if you want to get your tickets, whether it's in person in Atlanta or streamed, you can go to thenewsolympian.com/live right now. So we got the stream going. We're ready to make it happen. I'm super stoked about it. So get your tickets for the very important chapters that we're covering for the House of Hades. Woo! Now, other shows that we've got coming up in April are not going to be streamed, but they are going to be fun and they will be live and you can attend them. So we've got shows coming up in Albuquerque, New Mexico, Berkeley, California, Boise, Idaho, Denver, Colorado, Atlanta, Georgia, Charlotte, North Carolina, and Raleigh, North Carolina. You can get tickets to all of those. They range from April 7th to April 22nd. You can get tickets to all those shows at thenewsolympian.com/live as well. Now, in regards to this episode in particular, I have a couple updates. One, the fun musical singing pens that we talked about maybe getting, we did get, which was great. We got the pen for the Greater Western Sydney Giants in addition to the Gold Coast Suns pen that we got. Now, our baby did already break the Greater Western Sydney Giants one because we would play with it so much, and then it was thrown and it did not survive the throw. It was thrown out of joy, at least, so it went out in a happy mood. The Suns pen still singing along, so that's still going strong. And the other thing I had to mention, in this episode, Polly says something when I make the accidentally lewd, in quotation marks, reference. Polly says twice in 2 episodes. Now, you might be thinking, wait, there wasn't anything lewd or rude in the Perth episode, and that's because it was a little too past the lewd. It was, again, another accidental one because of messing up. But that one I felt like probably should have been cut out, so we did cut it out. But if you're a patron, you can hear what it is. So I normally post these sorts of things on the Patreon, just audio extras of me messing certain things up and some of the things that are similar to what's in the cold open, but if there's more than one and they get edited out, all the stuff that gets edited out of an episode gets eventually put up. We did a bonus episode that was like a super cut of a bunch of them, but I want to put up the Perth one individually because it was funny and lengthy and absurd and quite relevant. So you can get access to that if you go to thenewsolympian.com/Patreon. I mentioned this in the last episode, but there is a merch promotion going on for DFTBA, who does a lot of my merch, but specifically it's for things for my other podcasts. They're doing a big spring cleaning sale, and this is the last chance that you will have to get physical items for for meddling adults and for horse. Those are both t-shirts. The meddling adults ones are Idaville baseball t-shirts that say Idaville. They are modeled after an illustration of Sally Kimball from the original Encyclopedia Brown books. And then the horse ones are Subnerds. It's basketball shirts. They're on sale for $10 each right now. And then once the spring sale ends, which might be at the end of March, sometime in March, once the spring cleaning is over, you won't be able to get those online anymore. If we have any extras, they will be mailed to me, and then I will bring them to live shows. And then whenever they are sold out, they are sold out. But if you want to get those for a very affordable price, head on over to thenewsolympian.com/merch, click the link to go to the official store, and then just search for horse or for meddling adults, and maybe get some TNO stuff while you're at it. There's a bunch of fun stuff there, and you can get physical and digital items and, put it all together, save on shipping. Woo! Now I mentioned the Patreon, so let's give a shout out to the folks who've joined the Patreon most recently. So shout out to our newest God tier patrons, Jordan and Jonathan Green, and shout out to a returning demigod tier patron, Fran Lost in Hominem. Thank you all so much for your support. May Kronos bless you that if you were trying to do a whole lot in one Saturday evening / Sunday morning before making your way to another state to do a live show, that he can help you just really make the most of your time, because you're trying to both finish an episode and do prep for the live show, and you are running out of time. But maybe Kronos will help you. Now, if you're all caught up in the News Olympian and you're looking for some new content to consume, you are in luck, because I create content. I create a whole bunch of it. I think you would enjoy the content that I create. And one of the things that I do that's a little bit different is a D&D live stream show called 20 to Midnight that I did with a bunch of other podcasters. I say did in the past tense now because we finished our first arc. It is absolutely complete. We did an epilogue and everything. We made Patreon little episodes concluding, giving our overall thoughts about the whole thing. And it has been such a fun ride. We've been making it over the course of like 4 years. We did these 3-hour streams every now and then, and we had times where we were posting really rapidly. We had times where life got in the way and stuff. I am so excited that the story is now complete. So if you want to check it out in its entirety, go to our YouTube page. It's 20 to Midnight, 20 midnight. Head on over, check it out. Subscribe while you're there, because if we get to 1,000 subscribers, then YouTube will start paying us for the ads that they run on our videos. Right now they run ads, but we don't get a cut of it. But if we get 1,000 subscribers, that'll change. So yeah, check that out on the 20 to Midnight YouTube page to see me be a bard and some other podcasters who you've heard on this podcast be lovely, and just a fun game and a fun story and fun D&D times. Now, unless you're listening on Patreon, where you get access to ad-free episodes, you're going to hear words from a few sponsors who make it feasible for me to be a full-time podcaster. Some of those ads will be read by me, such as by our clothing company sponsor, Quince. They make good clothes and stuff. Listen to my ad talking about them. But some of those ads won't be read by me. The ones that aren't read by me are inserted locally. So if you live in Venezuela, don't be surprised if you hear an ad in Spanish. But once those ads are complete, we'll get back into this episode of the News Olympian. I saw one of these buttons in the store today at the AFL store. Someone has gifted, I'm assuming, or left, a Kyle Langford button.
That's so specific.
What makes it so...
It's just a very random player to choose. I'm assuming this person has left it is an Essendon fan. Yeah. Okay.
Is there a reason why? Is it because he...
Is he your favourite?
As a parent, you just get random stuff in your handbag.
Okay. All right.
There you go.
Great. I was looking at these buttons today because the Hawthorn Hawks have recently drafted a Schubert.
Yes. It might be a couple of years before you can get you one of those, but I'll add it to the list of random shit I'm going to send you.
Yeah, I was assuming these would be for like the big important people.
Well, no, they make them for every player. It's just he obviously hasn't played yet. So
whenever he does, I don't know. The Hawks, I gotta say, like their logo's not the coolest.
The color scheme was also awful.
It's like gold and
it's the poo and
red.
wee.
It's the Are they brown and gold? It's tough. That's tough. Yeah, when I saw that he was drafted, because you had sent it, I was like, oh, very cool. And then I was like, I hope he's on,
a good team.
They don't have to be good.
No,
there's got to be a cool uniform.
Team, yeah.
I was really wanting him to be on Port Adelaide because their uniforms are very fun.
Look, if we wait a couple years, he might be on a different team. So
delightful. Would be very delightful to get a Guernsey.
Well done. Very well done.
Let's go. Okay, a couple things before we start the second act. First, I didn't ask you the third time guest question. What does your nectar and ambrosia taste like?
So nectar is very specific. If anyone has been to Glory Jeans, which I think assume it's the thing down here, they have this thing called the Tim Tam Crusher.
Tim Tam Crusher.
And the reason it's my nectar is because every time when I was a kid and my stepmom used to take me shopping, she'd get herself a coffee and me a Tim Tam Crusher. So like very sweet.
What's in a Tim Tam Crusher?
I have no idea. It's basically like a Tim Tam milkshake.
Sounds amazing.
Yeah. And then for my ambrosia, it would definitely just be a Woolies mud cake.
A Woolies mud cake. Okay, I love Woolworths,
Yeah.
right?
So if you're in the bakery section,
Okay.
they have lots of different sweets.
Yes.
There is this chocolate cake
Okay.
in a like plastic container that has this white drizzle on the top.
Okay.
And that is like the quintessential Australian dessert. Like if most of the time when you're a kid, it's either that or a Freddo ice cream cake.
Okay.
Yeah.
What a fritter ice cream?
Freddo.
Freddo.
So you know like the
okay.
chocolate Freddos, like the Cadbury Freddos.
Yeah, with the little like koala guys, or
Well, the frog ones, but yeah,
The frog,
yeah.
okay, Freddo
They
the
have
frog.
a ice cream cake of that you can also get at
and it's like
Woolworths.
an ice cream
But,
cake.
there's
Okay.
but the mud cake is like a different thing. Those are the two quintessential
Okay.
kids' birthday cakes.
Okay, I've also heard because I was at the wildlife zoo
Yeah,
with
the
our
one
friend
in-
Tim, and I was asking because they had like the popsicle thing. I was like, "What's the most Australian popsicle?" And he said,
Paddle pop.
Yeah, so he said paddle pop, and I was like, yeah. Then he also said there was one called, I think it's Bubbalo Bill.
Oh yeah.
And I was like, is that a dude with a bubblegum nose? And he was like,
Yes.
yeah. And I was like, incredible. Incredible. Yeah, love that. That sounds great. Oh, the other thing, speaking of food and stuff, what was that tweet that you tweeted last night that had wild phrases in there and KFC buckets were mentioned?
So there's this thing called the Big Bash League.
Yes, I learned about that from Megan today.
Yes, which is like domestic T20 comp, and it is incredibly sponsored. Like it just as much sponsorship there could possibly be.
Yeah.
And the game last night had Steve Smith, who is our best cricket player and is our best cricket player since since Don Bradman, and I said since Don Bradman. Wow. Okay. The Victorians really hate me right now.
Loving this. This is great. I have no idea what's happening.
And he was playing a phenomenal game. He hit 3 sixes in a row.
Okay, that's good. I do know that.
Yeah. And the very first sponsor of the Big Bash League was the Zupa Duper,
Zupa Dupa. Yeah, that was the first thing.
which is a ice block, I'm assuming is what you call them.
Ice
okay, so
block?
they're like a thin tube,
Okay.
plastic, that has like sugar water that you freeze in there.
Okay.
So there's like cola, orange.
So like you make your own popsicles?
No, like it's like self-bought, but there's like juices in there, and then you put it in the freezer and it freezes.
Okay, yeah.
I-
So you make your own.
But it's not really
like,
you're not really making it.
Okay.
It's just like literally just buy
you just
put
get
in
it
the
and then you
freezer.
put it in the freezer and then it becomes a popsicle.
Yeah.
Okay.
But it's in like a thin clear tube.
Oh yeah, and then you like okay
Like a Go-Gurt but for an
right,
ice
yeah,
block.
yeah. We just call those like ice pops. Yeah.
So
okay,
there's
okay.
a specific brand called Zupa Duper, and it's like the most.
I mean, it's a great name.
And so they sponsored the league for ages, and then now KFC is the big sponsor. And if you go to a Big Bash game, they basically give you a KFC bucket without chicken in it to wear on your head.
Oh, that's not what I want. I want a free bucket of KFC.
Yeah, I mean everyone does.
Yeah.
And then also they're sponsored by Toyota, and the big Australian. We call it a ute. I think you guys call it a truck. Is a Hilux.
Okay.
So it was like the most Big Bash thing happened. And so it was me being like, get me all the Big Bash stuff.
Give me all the sponsor. Okay,
Yeah.
great. This is good. I love, this is like the reply all when they like define a tweet to someone. This has been really good. Thank you so much. Cool. Listen to the upcoming episode of Meddling Adults where Alex Goldman will be on the show. Ooh, spicy drop. All right.
This is Polly from the future. We realized when Mike was doing post-production that we never actually read my tweet out. So the original tweet was, get me a Zupa Duper, a bucket of KFC, and warm up the Hilux. I'm ascending. Anyway, back to the podcast.
Anyway, Percy Jackson. So we're going to continue at chapter 17 where we're going to pick it up. There is some yelling back and forth in the head of Frank. He was thinking about the Leo remarks and all that kind of stuff. So back and forth of yelling in his head. And Frank orders them to be silent. And then they are silent, which very much surprises him. He's like, oh, okay, if I can get these guys to quiet down, maybe today will be a great day. But then the next line is narrated Frank saying, quote, that hope was shattered as soon as he climbed above deck. We had a good one-sentence run, baby. Hazel asks, what are they? And they don't explain what the day is. And then Frank notices that the Argo 2 so it's Babe, is it Babe 2, Pig in the City?
No, it's Babe, Pig in the City.
Babe, Pig in the City, right. Okay, so the Argo 2, Pig in the City. Learned backstage that's an Australian production. I had no idea.
It didn't get as good as a response I thought. Like, Babe is an Australian movie.
Like, do the people have Australian accents in Babe?
Yeah.
I don't know. I've not seen it since I was a child. And I was just like,
do.
Pig. And I don't remember anything else.
Yeah, Pig.
Yeah, okay. So anyway, he notices that the Argo 2 Pig in the City is docked at a busy wharf, and they are in Venice. There's statues of lions everywhere, making Frank think that maybe the mascot of Venice is the lion. I don't know.
This would have been so good to be the Brisbane episode.
Oh, because is there AFL team
Brisbane
the Lions?
Lions.
Yeah. I think I saw in the AFL store, they won back-to-back
Correct.
somethings.
They still did. They beat my beloved Sydney Swans
I'm
very
so
badly
sorry.
last year.
So
2 years
sorry.
ago now.
Sorry, so sorry. So he sees the lions everywhere. I have been to Venice once, but I didn't remember lions being all over the place. So
Just clocked into animals.
Yeah, look, it's his thing.
Yeah.
It's his thing. Now, he then describes Venice for anyone that hasn't been to Venice. He describes the canals and the bridges and, the old school architecture, et cetera, et cetera. And Frank notes that he thought Rome was full of tourists, but this is next level. And as someone who's been to Venice, yeah, like the tourism there is wild. It's absolutely absurd with just like how packed it gets. It's even worse than some of the sidewalks here, which Melbourne, everyone's got to agree what side of the sidewalk we're walking on here. What's happening? It's not just the tourists. We're trying to be good Australian tourists. We're trying to walk on the left. And you know what? Other people are walking on the right. And then people are walking as wide as humanly possible. Like they're a liquid and they're filling the whole sidewalk. And also, I know I'm a New Yorker, but like everyone's got to speed it up by like 50%.
Oh, yes.
It's absurd to me.
Like,
the
it's
walking
actually crazy.
here.
Like, even walking here, I was like, how can someone physically move this slow?
I was coming over here with like all the merch in the suitcase and everything, and it's an all ages show, so I won't say what I muttered under my breath, but I muttered things under my breath like at 3 different instances, and the walk here was, according to Google, 12 minutes from where we're staying. It took me like 8. It should have taken me 4. Maybe that's like the factor, because Kelly and I have been blowing past the Google Maps like anticipations for the walk, and I guess they're factoring in like no one knows how to walk on the sidewalk here.
Yeah, I reckon that's probably what it is.
It's absurd. It's absurd. But yes, in Venice, it gets really bad as well. Apparently, they got the tourists all over the place. And yeah, I've been to Venice, and it was frustrating because it is like very cramped. It is not designed for like the tourism.
Yeah,
I
at
feel
least
like,
the streets here are wide.
yeah, well, some of them. Some of the ones, like most of them are wide and it's
Yeah.
been good. But then some of the ones like in Chinatown, you go down and it's like, well, this could fit half of a person.
And 3/4 of a car.
Right, yeah. And we gotta go. And then there's people waiting outside of a line of something, so you gotta like sneak. Yeah, there's been some. But no, for the most part, good wide sidewalks, which has been helpful. But yeah, every now and then it's like a super. The good thing is the sidewalks have been good because we have like lots of bags, obviously, because it's a 2-month thing. So
And
when
pram.
and pram. Lots of things with wheels. So it has been helpful getting like when we got in and we took the bus, the City Express or whatever, like that was an easy transition, so I'm happy for your sidewalks there. But then like walking through Chinatown, I was like, okay. Anyway, Venice. They're there. There's lots of tourists and stuff. Narrator Frank says the following, quote, Hazel and the rest of his friends weren't paying attention to any of that, though. They had gathered at the starboard rail to stare at the dozens of weird, shaggy monsters milling through the crowds. Each monster was about the size of a cow, with a bowed back like a broken-down horse, matted gray fur, skinny legs, and black cloven hooves. The creatures' heads seemed much too heavy for their necks. Their long, anteater-like snouts dropped to the ground. Their overgrown gray manes completely covered their eyes. Dr. Moya, help. What is happening?
Arthur has changed significantly in the movie.
What is Arthur? The Arthur? I'm glad he made it down here.
Oh, yeah, we've definitely had an Arthur.
That's great. That's great. But yeah, the tourists are also just paying them no mind, which is par for the course with some weird Greek stuff. So we get it. Some are even petting them, though, which Frank thinks is wild. But at one instance, one of them flickers and briefly looks like a beagle. So he figures, okay, maybe they look like dogs to everyone. Jason thinks that the mortals must think that these are stray dogs. And Piper guesses, or just pets. She says that her dad filmed a movie here, and he said that dogs were everywhere. And again, I've been to Venice. It was just for like a day and a half. I don't remember this being a thing.
I've not been to Venice.
Any Italians in the crowd or people who've been to Venice a lot? Is this a thing?
No,
No?
yeah,
Okay,
'Cause
yeah.
I very much thought it was like more of a cat city, but yeah, I don't know. Yeah.
I don't know. It didn't, like, I've been to other places where it was like, wow, dogs all over the place.
Yeah.
Like I went to Istanbul and there were stray dogs everywhere. And I went home being like, dogs all over Istanbul. But I don't think I came home from Venice being like, wow, dogs.
Now, the question is, has Rick been to Venice?
Ooh, or did he just Google? And
Yeah.
Google AI was like, there's dogs
There,
everywhere, man.
guys. Yeah, for sure.
Can't get enough of them. They just love them. So Frank catches the reader up to speed about Piper's dad, in case you didn't know what was going on there. Hazel asks again, what are they? And Leah wonders if they're harmless since they are ignoring the mortals. And it really can go either way with this. Like, there's no in between. They're either going to be completely harmless or the scariest things that exist.
What would the middle ground even be, though?
middle ground of the beasts be? I guess just like if they were
Just
like
inconvenient?
yeah, like very hyperactive, like one of those big dogs that wants to jump up on you, and it's like, please just don't.
Yeah,
these are nice
100%.
pants. Like, just get
Yeah,
down.
yeah.
Can you tell I'm not a dog person? So Leo wonders if they're nice and stuff. Hedge laughs at the notion of them being nice. He still has a pink rubber band in his hair left over from the monkeys, which is great. Frank is too scared to mention it to him, though. Hedge asks Leo how harmless any monster they've ever come across is, which I think is a really valid point.
Yeah.
Hedge suggests that they just aim the ballistae at them and see what happens, but Leo declines this fantastic offer. Frank agrees, thinking that there's just too many of them. If they shoot at one of them and the others angrily stampede, that could be a bad situation for all of Venice. Mamma mia. So Frank says that they should just try walking through and seeing if they will be peaceful and just hoping that they will be peaceful. So Leo then pulls out the book that they are here to check in about and announces what he has written on it in a post-it note, which I think is fantastic. La Casa Nera Calle. I don't know how they do it in Italian. I know Latin, not Italian. Calle Freseria, and Nico translates that to the Black House, and he says that Calle Freseria is the street that it's on. Narrator Frank then says, quote, Frank tried not to flinch when he realized that Nico was at his shoulder. I feel like every single narrator has said this, where they're just like, Nico, yeah. Like, this has happened to everyone, and I just imagine Nico just kind of like, always just like... squirm in his way.
Have you seen Monsters University?
Yes, once. So I'm not going to remember whatever you say.
Literally the same thing happens. Like, he would just pop up out of nowhere, and like, I think his name was literally Squishy.
Okay, yeah. It's like, did you get Hey Arnold here?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so it's like the kid who breathes too heavily behind Helga and punches him in the back. Yeah. I reminds me of that. Just like always showing up.
Yeah, we need to put a bell on Nico.
Oh my God. You would think with all his emo stuff, you would have like a bunch of bracelets. Like, come on. Get this kid to a Hot Topic. Thalia, shopping spree. So Frank tries to not flinch when he realizes that Nico's at his shoulder. He continues as the narrator saying, quote, the guy was so quiet and brooding, he almost seemed to dematerialize when he wasn't speaking. Hazel might have been the one who came back from the dead, but Nico was way more ghost-like.
And as someone that's also pasty, can relate.
He is surprised that Nico speaks Italian, not noting that his name is Nico D'Angelo. If there was anyone who would speak Italian, like I can get the immediate surprise, but I think his thought process should have been Nico. Yeah.
Which was my thought process.
Right, like I don't know if we have confirmation that Leo can speak Spanish, but if Leo could speak Spanish, you'd have to be like, right, Leo Valdez,
okay.
Sure.
I don't know how it is in America, but here we have a pretty big Italian diaspora. A lot of those people now can't actually, as in our generation, can't actually speak Italian.
Yes.
So I would not be that surprised if Nico couldn't speak Italian from that perspective.
Oh, I grew up with a lot of people with very Italian names who did not speak Italian.
Yes.
So I think like his initial reaction of you speak Italian makes sense, but I feel like it should be immediately followed up by your name is Nico D'Angelo.
Yeah, exactly.
Like it tracks. Like at first like, and then, yeah, sure.
It did make me think like we obviously don't know much about Nico's past. And it's like, okay, maybe he was in Italy.
I know. I need to know.
Yeah.
I want to know what's up with Nico. 9 books in and he's like barely around.
We know that he's ghost-like, and then he likes black.
Oh, loves it. Can't get enough.
And you can shadow travel. Those are the 3 things we know about Nico.
And he's just got the worst luck. He just gets hit in the head with stuff all the time. Him and Jason, best buds. So what's really funny, though, is that Frank is surprised, saying, you speak Italian? And then Nico shoots him a warning look like, hey, watch it with the questions. What could the bad implications of you knowing Italian be?
This is why I think maybe he was in Italy and there was issues with that.
Oh, yeah. He was like, don't tell anyone about my 6-month study abroad. Where I learned this other thing.
Which would be the exact opposite how people act to people that actually study abroad.
Nico agrees with Frank. They should just walk there. And he notes that they need to be careful because Venice is very maze-like. They could get lost. So then some thunder rumbles and Jason suggests that he stay on board because the Venti could be looming. And this just makes sense. You need to have not everyone go on this journey. Yes. We need people to find excuses. The excuses start piling in. Hedge bows out because he doesn't want to be part of a boring expedition. They don't want to fight the beasts. He doesn't want to go with them. Love it. Tracks.
Yep.
Leo is stoked at this because he needs help repairing the foremast, which is why he's staying behind, and he has an idea for a new installation in the engine room. And Frank, as the narrator, lets us know that he doesn't love Leo's new installations. Ever since he got the spheres, he's doing all this stuff, and what happens more often than not is that they explode, and then there's a bunch of smoke, and then it wafts into Frank's room.
Yeah.
Feels like they could probably install some sort of ventilation system. Given
Again,
that they have
it's literally a magic boat that
Magic
can
boat.
do anything. And they're like, actually, you know what? We're going to be really inconvenient and put all the smoke into Frank's room.
just feels like they should have a good system.
The funny thing is, I know they all have their rooms, but every time I picture it, I'm just picturing like 8 bunk beds. Like,
It's good. It's good. I'm imagining very much like my freshman year college dorm, like the painted cinder block kind of vibe and like that old looking carpet. We all went to my school. Piper suggests whoever is the person to go should be good with animals. And I'm surprised everyone didn't turn and look at Frank in unison. She admits that she's not good with cows, but does not explain further. And I wrote, is it because she's vegetarian? Is this another Hera thing? What's going on? And the narrator, Frank, goes, Frank figured there was a story behind that comment, but he decided not to ask. No!
okay, with Piper specifically referring to them as cows, and Frank having woken up from a dream of him eating a cow, is he going to eat one of these things?
Interesting. A lot of cow play. You are correct. The other thing
That would be the most insane foreshadowing.
Let's see. The other thing with Piper, I don't know if there is a
Native
Cherokee.
American
I'm
thing?
not
Yeah, I'm not too
sure.
sure.
Because in America, unlike what they do here in Australia, they don't really teach us about the Native Americans. They're just like, yeah, they were there, but it's like one paragraph in a history book. And I know Australia's not the best at it, but you're
No.
definitely better than us.
It's a low bar.
Yeah. I do. We did go to in Victoria Market. There was the store for its clothes. The
Clothing-
Gap.
yeah, Clothing the Gap.
And it was great because there was a woman there who was explaining all of the stuff because they had the tags where it was like allies can buy these clothes and
Actually, Indigenous people. Yes.
Right, you
Yeah.
get those. So we're asking, and it was like, what's mob? And we're asking like all these things, which is cool. Like learned a lot. Kelly was very excited because she saw a shirt that on the front has a little flag of the Aboriginal flag, and then on the back it says "Didgeridoo the right thing."
Yes, so
and it
good.
was good because I was like, that's a great shirt, and I was like, and we're buying it from the store that is trying to help and give money and all this. So I was like, so this is not bad. Like
No.
this is a good purchase.
Yes.
I can wear this shirt and not feel like I'm being offensive.
Exactly
This is
right.
the best place to purchase this shirt. But they had a bunch of like really cool merch, and it was great to like learn.
I was
all
literally
of the
wearing one
different things.
before the show.
You were,
Yeah.
At Cricket, you were wearing it. I was like,
Yes.
I know that place.
Yeah.
So yeah, Clothing the Gap was great. It was super fun, and it was cool to like learn about it. And I know not to celebrate Australia Day.
It's exactly
not gonna do it.
Yeah.
Not going to do it. It's like I think I'm not even going to be in Australia.
Yeah, I think you're in New
it's
Zealand
like
at
I
that
will
point.
fly.
Yeah,
That's how I'm going to celebrate Australia Day by flying to
By
New
leaving.
Zealand. Get out of here. Bye. Yeah, I'm going to leave. That's how I'm going to do it. Boo. So anyway, Percy Jackson. So Frank offers to go. Narrator Frank lets us know that he's not sure why he volunteered. I was like, dude, kind of your thing.
So you are the narrator right now. Like, it would be weird if you didn't.
Right. Narrator Frank says, quote, maybe because he was anxious to be useful for a change, or maybe he didn't want anyone beating him to the punch. Animals? Frank can turn into animals. Send him. Which, yeah, I feel like that's the reason to go, but sure, let's get out there. Leo gives Frank the book, and then he tells him to pick up 2x4s and tar on the way back if he passes a hardware store. And Hazel says, this is not a shopping trip. I love this. I am guilty of this sometimes when we're out like doing trips or whatever, and then a family trip or something, and they're going out and be like, hey, on the way back, if you want to pick me up, whatever. And it's like,
The stores, but like, I don't know. I haven't been to a hardware store or a Bunnings in quite a while. Do they just sell tar?
I don't know either, because I don't know if Lowe's does this in the States. Bunnings, that's the one with Billy, right? Or is that a different hardware? What's the hardware store? We got Billy the Bear.
Oh, yes. I didn't know that he had a name. Yes.
Oh,
that
yeah,
is
Billy the Bear.
Bunnings.
Someone at
That
the
is
Sydney
Bunnings.
show gifted us a little Billy
Yes.
the Bear. The stuffed animal collection for the little one grows. We got Billy the Bear, and then you
Bolo.
gave Bolo the ball from the Australian Open, which I'm very excited about. Is that actually his name of Bolo?
Yeah.
Great. Love it. Australia has figured out nicknames. You shorten everything, give it a Y, give it an O.
No.
Perfect. It's great. Though you don't call Tim Tams Timmies.
No.
That was the most surprising thing I've learned on vacation.
Yeah, that not having a short name is quite shocking.
Like, we'll call them by the legal names.
Yeah.
Arnott's, sorry, so it's Arnott's, not
Arnott's,
Arnott's, Arnott's Tim Tams. Yeah, we have
yeah.
the full legal name. Arnott's Tim Tams Deluxe. What's the, there's the Deluxe, and then there's the double.
Double coat. Double coat's my favorite.
Double coat, yeah, okay.
Yeah.
There's all that. Like, I'm caught up. I know how to slam. I know what's up. Yeah. I've been doing lots of slamming. The Tim Tam Slam. Oh, is that a thing? Is that a different? And we wouldn't call that slamming. You call that slamming here? Whoa. Me and Callum just slammed? I'm gonna go slam Sheila later? That's wild. Austin Powers, the spy who slammed me?
Yeah.
Yeah? Okay. Might have to delete that out of the episode. My bad. I have been Arnott's Tim Tam slamming. So anyway.
Twice in 2 episodes.
Anyway, Percy Jackson. Nico offers to go along for the trip, and I think this is great. This is so fun. A Frank and Nico pairing is really fun
Yeah,
to
because
me.
we have no idea how they feel about each other.
What a fun interaction. Frank asks Nico if he's good with animals, and then Nico says, quote, actually, most animals hate me. They can sense death, but there's something about this city, lots of death, restless spirits. If I go, I may be able to keep them at bay. Besides, as you noticed, I speak Italian. Nico. What? I love it. The vibes, he's just bringing them. Leo says that you all can have fun. I'm going to stay back because I usually try to avoid death when I am able to. Frank isn't
Great shot.
Yeah, look great. Frank isn't sure what's scarier, the monsters, the potential swarms of ghosts, or being alone with Nico D'Angelo. Great. I really enjoyed Frank being back as the narrator. He's a very fun narrator. This is good to have him back in the mix. Hazel decides to go along as well, which I was hoping she was going to do, not only because of the rule of threes, but also want to have some cute Frank-Hazel interactions. Yes. So that's fun. She even says 3 is the best number for demigods, right? So that's great.
And I think also she has the best relationship with Nico. So that might make Frank feel a little bit better as well, to not be like completely alone with Nico, but also have Nico's sister. Yay!
Yeah. Oh my gosh, right. I didn't even think about that. Yeah, that's a fun pair.
Yeah.
Oh my. Wow. Ooh, are we going to get some? You better take care of my sister. That's going to be. This is such a fun trio to have. This is good. I'm so stoked for this next chapter. Everyone, come to the Brisbane show on Saturday when we talk about this. So the book ends the chapter with the following quote: Frank tried not to look too relieved. He didn't want to offend Nico, but he glanced at Hazel and told her with his eyes, "Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you." Nico stared at the canals as if wondering what new and interesting forms of evil spirits might be lurking there. All right, then, let's go find the owner of that book. And that's the end of this chapter. What have you retitled this chapter?
Okay,
this was
so
tricky.
this
There were many options.
Might hit, it might not hit, but a bulldog went to the Lion City. So I retitled it Josh Dunkley.
Oh. I'm guessing he used to be on the Bulldogs. It was traded to the Lions. Yeah, it's a great reference. I like that. If a basketball thing happened, I would have done something there. Yeah, there's something about his particular thing where Nico said, "As you noticed, I speak Italian." It just really stuck out to me that I would love to retitle, "As you noticed, I speak Italian." Just want to make that the title. And that is the end of chapter 17. That's the end of this portion of the episode. If you're listening to it after the fact, we'll say goodbye to the podcast people, and then we'll get into Q&A. So let's all say goodbye to the podcast people. Goodbye, podcast people. Hey, it's Mike from the future here. So just going to take one more little break here since this is a longer episode before we get into the very fun Q&A. A lot of good questions from this Melbourne crowd, and they let me go over time. So we got to answer more questions than normal. But we'll take a little break, and then we'll come back and do a whole bunch of questions. We can do Q&A. Woo! And I have been politely told by the venue that we can go over time by a little bit, so we'll do some questions. So let's go to the email and pull it up. Oh my gosh, so many questions. This is going to be great. Oh, sweet. Okay, cool.
Great vibes, guys. Well done.
This is the episode that came out this morning. I was at the Melbourne Museum, which is great. I also love that it seems like every museum in Australia, the logo just has to be a zigzag.
Yeah.
Because the Australian Museum in Sydney is and then I think it's the logo for Victoria Museums is Great. So Priscilla writes in and says that the bird is the Eastern whip bird. It sounds like a whip. I thought it sounded like a Star Wars blaster because the one's like that's the ASMR Mac segment of the episode. You should all listen to it. It's really good. All right, this one is from Maddie. Subject line, Melb, TNO question. Hi, Mike. What has it been like traveling Australia with Kelly and your baby? Any highlights beyond the nectarine love? P.S. Have you been eating the mangoes there in season? Very good. Yes. Every time I go to a store, I buy one of each variety of mango at Woolworths. Nice. So I look at the thing and I get one of those, I get one of those. They're all incredible. Yeah. They've been great. I also love, I guess because it's in season, it's the rare thing where you can just buy a mango and then eat it that day, which is so nice because most often when I buy mangoes in the U.S., I'm usually buying them when they're they're on sale. They're usually on sale when they're like not ready. So I'll
Yeah,
buy
okay.
them and I'll be like, next week these mangoes are gonna rip. So it's been really nice to buy them and then eat them. Yeah, I mean, it's been fun traveling. The baby is very good on flights, so that has been good. We also have been kind of doing the thing where you like go to a city and stay for a while, so that's been nice. It's just been nice and relaxing to go and just kind of explore the cities. It's cool, especially being in like Sydney and Melbourne where we've been before, to not feel the pressure of like, got to do all the things, and we can have a day where we go swinging for an hour and 15 minutes. So
Yeah.
it's been really fun. Highlights-wise, I don't know. We had a fun time just like shopping around Melbourne. When we were here last time, a couple years ago, the weather wasn't amazing,
awful.
so we got to go to more parks. The kids park where it's just like a bunch of stuff where it's the rocks and then there's like slides and swings, like that park in the middle of the street is super duper cool. That was fun. I mean, obviously playing cricket this morning with Megan was a delight. Oh, it was so fun. We hit the tennis ball, upgraded to the more, did you say it was squidgy was the word, or the slightly squidgy ball, and then we moved up to the plastic, the full leather, and I was getting some good wax in. We put on the leg protectors and the pads and the gloves. It was great. I loved it. It was so fun. So yeah, it's been great. And then we're gonna go to the Australian Open, so that'll be really fun too. So we're stoked about it. It's been great. It's been a delightful time. So much fun. Okay. Oh gosh. Oh no. The subject line is Melbourne. I know. I've done research on this with my friend Tim, who is my buddy from high school.
To be fair, Tim is from Sydney.
But he split time between America and Australia. He's born here, did high school and college in America, and now he's back here. He's a lawyer, a pretty like high-profile lawyer. But I checked with him because I was like, people have told me, and they said last time that I should be pronouncing it like Melbourne, and I was like, but that sounds like I'm just making fun of their accent. Because I wouldn't, if I was going to London, I wouldn't say like I'm going to, London. Like I wouldn't say it in an accent. Like you guys speak English. It's just English in a different accent.
You've been pretty much devolting to Melbs now.
It's a clear, it's fun. It's like cool points without offending anyone.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I don't know. It's I've been going, when I say Melbourne, I go Melbourne because I know like Melbourne is wrong.
Melbourne is wrong.
Wrong, so I go with Melbourne. But I feel Melbourne just sounds like I'm doing a bad accent.
No, it's fair. Yeah.
And it was wild because I went to a WNBA game. The Jade Melbourne used to be in my beloved Seattle Storm. She got traded to the Washington Mystics, and I went to a Liberty game, and she was playing, and the announcer, when they scored, especially, this is the thing in American sports, I don't know if this happens in Australian sports, at basketball games, when someone on the other team scores, the like announcer person will be like really sad, so that when Jade scored, it was like, Jade Melbourne. And the way he said it, I was like, I feel like you should be calling her Jade Melbourne. I don't know. Anyway, there's an email from Emily, and it says, welcome back to Melbourne. How is Kelly enjoying the flat whites? Oh, she's drinking flatties left and right, all over the place. All over the place. My question is, which Australian native animal do you think is actually a monster, excluding the platypus? We talked about this in the Perth show. It's
the echidna.
It's the cassowaries, for sure.
Yeah.
The fact that at some zoos you guys have, or I guess all of them, it's like electric fences, that's how you know it's bad.
Yeah.
When Australia is employing like actual safety measures, you know it's bad.
Yes.
Okay, this one's from, is it Catch? Yes. Okay, Catch has the subject line, Melbourne show, AFL's met, but go Collingwood, I guess, so my family doesn't disown me. Is Collingwood the Magpies?
Correct.
Oh, look at me go. Hi, Mike. If you could do a podcast interview with any of the gods, who would you want to interview and what would your top question be? Which gods would be the best, worst, / funniest to have on the pod? Great to see you in Melbourne again. Enjoy the rest of your travels. P.S. I have a handmade gift for you. What's the best way to give it to you? Either on stage after the show or at the merch table. That'd be great. That's so kind. Thank you so much. Who would I want to interview? And who would you want to interview? I think the worst would be Aries.
That
he
was
would be
immediately I
pretty
thought
bad.
because it's literally just a podcast. He's literally just a podcast bro.
I feel like Hera would be pretty bad too.
Yeah.
I would want to interview like Artemis. Artemis, I think, would be at the top. I just think like very fascinating. The hunters, we don't know as much about her. I think Hestia would be like a fun homie hang as well.
Yes.
So those are the two that come to mind for me. Poseidon obviously would be cool because I'm a child of
Yeah, I
Poseidon.
feel
I
like
love
Poseidon
the
would
beach.
probably be my answer because he seems kind of like he'd be into sports, and I have a sports podcast, so I don't think any of the other guys would really care. So that's probably the best for me.
And for like a fun, goofy one, I feel like Dionysus would be good. Like Mr. D would be fun. That could be
But
good.
I don't know if you've seen this, but you know Stavros.
Yes.
People have compared him to Dionysus.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah,
That's
so
very
maybe
good.
just having Stavy on your podcast.
That'd be good. That guy's great. What a good egg. All right, so this one is from Amy. The subject line: Melbourne public transport opinions. If you're asking my opinions about your transport, I do have opinions. Hi, Shoes. My name is Amy, and I'm here with my partner Sam, who's neither seen nor read PJO. Hope you're having a fun time. I'm listening to the most recent episode of Professional Talkers. Plug your show here. It's good. It's me and Sequoia. It's great. Everyone should listen to it. You were complaining about how annoying it is when cities don't have public transport from the airport. How did you find navigating our zero public transit situation from Melbourne Airport? Thank you for the best evening. P.S. Yes, I did write this in my notes app and then copy paste. So the bus was good. Like, it worked quite well. I think if you have a direct bus, like, that goes to a city center, that can pass. The rail is obviously a better option. The bus worked out, especially because, like, they come, like, every 5 minutes.
Yes.
I was more annoyed with the people on the bus than the bus itself.
Classic.
Because we had a lot of bags and a baby and a pram, and we're trying to put it up, and just, like, people couldn't be bothered to wait for, like, 5 seconds. Like, just let me put the heavy bags on the thing. Like, they're sneaking in between. That was more annoying. As far as the other stuff, we've been taking the tram, which is fun. I don't like the confusion about the tap-on system. The fact that you can't tap to pay, insane. That's
it's
insane.
Actually a joke.
We had to buy. We went out to.
Okay, it's coming.
It's coming.
It's
we read an article,
years, guys.
Yeah, because Kelly and I, we were starting in the free tram zone, and then we were like, if we exit the free tram zone, do we have to tap off? How does this work? What's happening? So we took it out to, like, I don't know, it was like a pier that, like, used to be there, and then they took it away, and there's, like, a bunch of...
I'm assuming St. Kilda?
Princess Pier, yes. Went to Princess Pier. And it was cool. Like, there was the beach, there was the pier, it was fun. But you had to, like, take the train all the way to the end of the line. So we do that. And we started in the free tram zone, and then we were like, all right, we thought you could tap to pay. We're already on it. We're like, we can plead ignorant Americans. We'll be all right. Trying to do our best. We'll figure out whatever this Mikey card situation is. So on the way back, we try to figure out the Mikey card situation. You know what makes no sense? The Mikey card situation. Because I was like, all right, we would like to go here. And they were like, ho, you got to pay $6 to get a card. And I was like, can I not? And they were like, no. And I was like, okay, let me just put on the amount of one trip. And they were like, absolutely not.
No, definitely not.
And then they were like, do you want to get the 2 types of passes? And I was like, just get me to the city center.
I just need to get home.
I just want to get home. And we did the thing. We got the card. We probably did it wrong. We tapped on. We tapped off. We weren't supposed to. It was ridiculous. It was awful. Thankfully, you got free transport on the weekends, so we just got on the train today, and we were like, whatever happens, happens. But yeah.
I think that's most Melbourneers' vibes as well. It's like, you just get on and hope for the best. Like, most of them aren't tapping on. Exactly, yeah.
Free if you don't tap on. Yeah, I didn't know, like, how intense the checking of it was, but
so
I don't know.
From all reports from a Sydney side, the ticketing officers are pretty mental here and get very intense about it.
Okay.
So you just run the risk of not running into a ticketing officer.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. All right. Well, look, it's worked out. The tram is, like, fine. I like that there's, like, lots of them and stuff, but, you know, it's okay. It's all right. So this is from Avril, subject line, Aussie improv TV show. Hello, there's an Australian improv TV show called Thank God You're Here. In each episode, a comedian is dressed up and sent through a door to improv their way through the scene that awaits them. They obviously have no idea what the scene will be, and they are always greeted by the line, Thank God You're Here. That's very fun.
It's really good.
That's a really
It's a
good
really good
concept.
show,
That's
yeah.
a really good concept. Which Percy Jackson character would you most like to see as a guest on this show, and what scene would you put them in? Past scenes have included a surgeon in an operating room, a 1910s nanny meeting their employer and employer's children, a construction site manager being confronted by unhappy clients, a nun on trial for witchcraft. Good. I would want to see Percy because I feel like he does have some improv chops.
Yeah.
I feel like he has done it. Annabeth as well from time to time, good under pressure. And I think mainly because they would just get very flustered and it would be interesting to see Grover.
I miss him so much.
Yeah. Where is he?
Where is he?
Where is he?
Yeah, no. I was going to say Piper because she can talk her way out of any situation. So it would just be entertaining to watch just like all the actors being like, how is she going so good?
Yeah, this is
Yeah.
great. This one is from Jay. Hi from a fellow North American. I'm from Canada. Just want to know what's on your socks and how you pick your outfit. So these socks are black and orange. It's a pattern from Spike Lee, who's a movie director and a big Knicks fan. It's for his film production company. I just like them because with the black and orange feels very Camp Half-Bloody. As far as the outfit, I just felt of the shirts that I brought, this was the most like artsy and stuff. And Melbourne, I feel like, is very artsy. You've got the museums and everything. We went to the NGV again because you have that one room in the NGV. I forget the name of it, but you have the one room where it's like, we put all the good people in one room.
Yeah.
Where it's like the one room where it's like, oh yeah, Monet, Manet, and Degas. Like everyone's like in the same room.
Yeah.
And Picasso, and it's just very funny to me where it's like, we're going to condense all the good people into one area.
If you want to go,
to the other stuff, sure, but like, here's the one room you got to pay attention to. So that we had enough time this trip because we did that last time, and I remember just being in that room and just being like, wow, this painting's good, and be like, oh, this painting's really good too, and this painting rips. I was like, this whole room is good. So this time we had enough time for like an hour in the museum. We were like, let's just go to that room and then leave, and that's exactly what we did. It was great. So yeah, I just tried to go like artsy vibes and stuff, and then also just like color combination. Like the other pants I wore were white, so I can't wear them with the white shirt. It would look weird. So that was
a bit intense,
all the different
yeah.
combo. But yeah,
actually,
also
you look like a cricketer, so maybe it would have been the right vibe.
Nice. Yeah, but I also thought it was fun with the purple shoes and the orange socks. Felt very like Camp Half-Blood, Camp Jupiter appropriate. Yeah. Okay, this one is from Monica. Roman Gods Casting Edgeverse, ? Hi, Mike, loving the show. Today's episode, 209, you mentioned Blackjack should be voiced by Jack Black. If the House of Hades gets a TV show, live action or animated, who would you like to see play the Roman versions of the gods? Who would make the fight in Frank's head with Edge the best?
Ooh.
I mean, you got to make it another wrestler. For sure.
I'm not a wrestling person.
I'm not like super clued in on who exactly, because I'm trying to think specifically with Mars, like more likable and stuff.
John Cena?
Yeah, John Cena. That's actually the right answer. John Cena would be absolutely fantastic. That would be good. As far as the other Roman ones, I don't know. Like Roman Athena was just like really like whacked out. She was just stressed. And then there's some of the other ones, but yeah, for that, John Cena feels like the great. Yeah. Feels like a really solid pull for Mars. Okay, this one is from Allie. It says Tigers. Is that the nickname of the Tigers? Yeah. Okay. Yes. Please be better this year. Melting face.
Yeah, they did. They were. Hey, look, they did better than we all expected last year.
But it doesn't sound like we expected much.
Yeah, exactly.
Hi, Mike and Polly, loving the show. Based on the tour so far, which state do you reckon? Love reckon, by the way. Which state do you reckon Rach of the seven? Each of the seven. Okay, I was like, Rach? A new character? Do you reckon each of the seven would be happiest in, and why? Def include the territories and states you've not been. That's 8, so maybe Chuck Nico or Hedge in 2. Keeping awesome, thanks for coming back. Ooh, this feels like that's an Aboriginal way to say thank you, and I don't want to mess it up. Go... Irish! All right, cool. No, hey. To you as well. I feel like this is your expertise.
Yeah, okay. So immediately Percy is going in Queensland.
Okay. Because of beaches and
because of beaches.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Great.
And I think I'm putting Jason in WA.
Okay. Why is that funny?
I'm going like exact opposite of, well, not exact opposite, but like similar vibe, little bit weird, and then Annabeth, I think has to be Victoria.
Okay. Would Piper
or
not?
Canberra, actually.
Canberra.
I'm putting Annabeth in Canberra.
Okay.
Sorry, I'm trying to think of all the characters in my head. I'm going to put Hazel in Tasmania.
Okay.
I don't really have a good reason for why. It's cold. I don't know. I really like Tasmania, and I really like Hazel.
We loved Tassie was a delight. We had such a fun time hiking in Tassie last time.
And like it's a cool vibe, and Hazel is cool. Mm-hmm. She could also probably go in Sydney because it's the oldest city, and she is old.
But I think also Tassie works for her because I don't know. It feels very like earthy, and with her like underground natural resources, precious gems. Like it feels like that could work.
So Nico, Leo. Are they the only two that haven't done? Oh, and Piper. And Frank. Okay. I feel like I'm going to put Frank in Sydney because that seems the most Canadian to me.
Okay, good. Love that. Yes.
I'll put Leo in Adelaide. I don't really have good reasoning for it. It is just vibes. Actually, no, I lie. I'm going to put Nico in Adelaide because it is the city of churches. And that feels like
brooding.
Ghostly.
Yeah. I like that.
I guess that leaves Darwin. Sorry, Northern Territory. And have I missed another? No, but what other states are there? Victoria. Oh, I reneged Annabeth from you guys. Okay, so Leo can be Victoria because I have a love-hate relationship with Leo and I have a love-hate relationship with Victoria.
Wonderful. Great. Okay, let's keep it going. This one is from Ruby. GWS song does rip. Hey, Mike, thank you for your compliment on my badly drawn pigeon nails. No, they're great. They're fantastic. They also feature the trapdoor. That's also fantastic. Oh, wait. Oh my gosh. I can't see because of the light, but I saw from the picture and they were really cool. Yeah. Whoa, what has been the greatest thing you've eaten while in Australia? Oh, That's really hard because the food has been quite solid. I did have the mint slice was really good because that was a new treat.
Yeah.
So I did very much enjoy the mint slice. We've had some really good Asian food since we've been here, both in Sydney and in Melbourne. We've had some really good stuff. I had like some really good Wagyu beef at a place called IMO. We also got bingsu from a place called like, it had like a funny name like no, it was like Chillin', like Bing Chillin'. Yeah, we got bingsu from Bing Chillin'. It was really good. We got the white peach flavor. It was really solid. Oh, and then Kelly today got pastries from some place that was like really well renowned. That wasn't Loon. It was a different place. No. I don't know. She got pastries from something that was really good. There's been a lot of really good stuff.
We got good food.
Yeah, had some really good food. It's been great. Look, your food game is strong. I will miss it so dearly. I gotta go to Woolworths as much as possible. Can you tell I didn't eat dinner before the show?
Yeah.
Gotta get something on the way home. Okay, let's see. This one is from Bailey. The subject line, swimming with sharks. Oh, okay. Just wanted to let you know we figured out when Percy and his entire class went swimming with sharks. It's on page 1 of The Lightning Thief. Oh, what a pull. See, bad things happened to me on field trips. Like in my 5th grade school, when we went to the Saratoga battlefield, I had this accident with a Revolutionary War cannon. Okay, And before that, in my 4th grade school, when we took a behind-the-scenes tour of the Marine World shark pool, I sort of hit the wrong lever on the catwalk, and our class took an unplanned swim. And the time before that, well, you get the idea. Okay, but where was the blood?
Did he just kill a bunch of 4th graders?
Bailey does continue. Not sure where the blood came from, though. I think he might have lost a classmate.
Yes, he did.
It's possible. Wild. Okay. Wow. Alrighty. My goodness. Oh, okay, wait. I also have another answer for a really delicious thing that I had. I had in Sydney, I went to Messina because everyone at the Sydney show was like, you got to go. So we went to Messina and I got the flavor that was chai tiramisu. It was dirty chai tiramisu, and it had like chunks of tiramisu in there, and then like chai flavored gelato. Very solid stuff.
My favorite Messina ice cream is going to get me some negative hate.
Okay.
It is the licorice flavor.
Ooh, a refined palate. Yes. Okay, so here is a related thing. This is delicious Melb ice cream recommendation inside from Sarah. Hey, Mike, the show's been so fun so far. I'm glad you're able to make it back to Melbourne since I couldn't make it to the last show. As promised, here's the ice cream shop recommendation. Luther's Scoops in Brunswick. Okay, they have such fun and delicious flavor combos and also really good vegan options.
That might be where I'm going tonight.
This is a throwback, but at the end of The Lost Hero, you made fun of Gwendolyn, saying she wouldn't make the team because her name sounds too old for Catching Strays. So my question is, if the series was set in the early 1900s, what would the Seven's names be instead? My boyfriend who was with me and has not read Percy Jackson books want you to know, if you had a rubber duck, what would you name it? Hope you've been having the best time in Australia. Okay, Frank
duck, can just be Frank. That's
sure. Rubber duck. What would I name it? I got to be some sort of pun with like duck or bill or maybe like.
I can't think of a single good bill.
I was gonna say, why are all the bills bad?
Yeah.
Maybe like, I don't know, like Bill.
Yeah, Bubble or Bill. There you go.
Bubble or Bill. Yeah, great. Bubble or Bill. Nailed it. Great. Perfect. Okay. So we got to do like 1900s names. I don't know. Like, it would be fun to see like Dorothy. This will be American one, so I don't know if you have.
Yeah, I think they're probably similar.
Because I don't know, like, I love the very Australian names that you have. Like, I learned from Megan that you don't have Megan here, you have Megan.
Yeah, we don't have Megan here.
And I don't know, and when we did, like, hiking stuff, every single tour guide's name was Callum. It just feels like a tour guide name.
That makes sense.
Yeah, everyone was, hi, I'm Callum, I'm Callum, I'm Callum. Like, yeah, your mullet looks great, Callum. But yeah, I would like Dorothy, something like Agnes, Ethel, yeah, Joyce.
Joyce is not that old here.
Oh, interesting. Okay, let's see. Like,
I can't think of any male names.
Yeah, it's hard, like, because a lot of the like classical ones have stuck around, but like Arnold, pre-1940s Adolf was a big one, but then something might have happened to that name where it took a steep decline. Maxwell could be a fun one. Humphrey. Yeah, that's good.
Okay, we have... Do I need to explain Humphrey Bear to Mike?
Yes. Do explain Humphrey Bear, and then we have one final question, and then we'll get out of here.
There is a like a mascotted character. So he's like a guy in a big suit.
Okay.
Called Humphrey Bear.
Okay.
And
What is he a mascot for? It's just...
No. He's just like a TV like.
Oh, okay.
personality.
Like Barney the dinosaur.
Yeah. Doesn't speak. Like just a bear in a checkered plaid vest.
Okay, cool.
And a yellow Boda hat.
Okay.
And doesn't
Which kind of
say any-
hat?
Boda.
Boda hat.
Like.
Not the one with the corks on it?
No.
Okay.
Like the flat top.
Oh.
And then it's like brimmed all the way around.
Gotcha. Yeah. Sun protection.
Doesn't,
Yeah.
I think these episodes would only be about like 5 minutes. Never said anything. I couldn't tell you a single thing that happened in it, but he's a cultural icon in Australia.
Okay. Love it. Great. Nailed it. Cool. Let's end with this wonderful email from Caitlin. Subject line, I like nectarines too. Hi, Mike and Polly. Mike, have you heard the Aussie version of the Happy Birthday song, specifically the ending? I have not.
Okay, the actual song itself is the same.
Okay, but then the ending.
At the ending, you go, do we want to do it?
Okay, just do the ending.
Hip hip. Hooray! Hip hip. Hooray! Hip hip. Hooray!
That's way better. That's so much better because the birthday song sucks. So to do 3 hip hip hoorays is so much better.
Yeah, and then you blow the
And
candle.
then that rules. Man, that's cool. That's really cool. Okay. Then this is a question that we can combined get correct because I know some of it. It says, anyway, Percy Jackson, which Arnott's biscuit would each of the 7 be?
Okay, Leo, immediately I'm thinking TV snacks.
Okay, what's TV snacks?
Okay, they're basically just a chocolate biscuit. Like
Okay.
it's in chocolate-coated biscuit on the inside.
Okay,
But they're like very bite-sized and
Okay.
they come in a box that looks like an old school TV.
fun.
Yeah. So,
Very fun.
Like a little bit jokey, you know.
Sure.
I mean, Percy just has to be a regular Tim Tam, I'm sure.
Yeah,
And
okay.
then Jason could be a mint slice because they're like the big two.
I was going to say mint slice could be Nico because it's dark chocolate.
Ooh, that's not a bad shout.
And then, you know,
Or it could be like Percy is it's literally called a nice biscuit.
a nice biscuit.
And then Jason could be a milk arrowroot.
A what? A what?
Milk arrowroot.
A milk
Arrowroot.
arrowroot. Okay.
Yes. It's literally just a nice
plain-
it's just literally just a plain biscuit.
Okay.
But the nice is also just a plain biscuit with sugar on top.
Ah, okay. So slightly more fun.
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
great.
yeah.
That's really funny. Would someone be an Anzac biscuit? I know about those from
Those-
Possum Magic.
okay. Not Arnott's, but can still fall under.
Oh, okay, right.
But
Sorry, my
that
apologies.
is a snack that was developed during the war. That's why they call it an Anzac biscuit.
Okay.
And to send to the soldiers so they last a really long time. So I am definitely thinking Hazel for an Anzac biscuit.
That's good. That's good. Maybe not a biscuit, but who's getting shapes? Because Arnott's also does shapes.
shapes.
Love shapes. I had the Vegemite
actually
cheese
might
shapes
be more
are really
Leo
good.
than-
Leo.
yeah.
Yeah. Shapes are fun.
Right,
Big
shape.
fan of shapes.
Flavor, you can see.
You can. And in the case of the Vegemite ones, doesn't taste like Vegemite, but it's good. It's still good.
Piper feels like what are they called? The Monte Carlo. The
okay.
most fancy one.
Sounds fancy.
Annabeth, I'm just going to give her a double coat because it's the best.
Yeah, I was going to say, she has to be the correct answer. Sweet. That is perfect. And that is our show. Thank you all so much for coming out and making this a possibility. What a delightful time this was. Give it up to Polly for being an incredible guest. Give it up to Kelly for doing the intro, watching the baby, all that good stuff. Give it up to Ilaria for running the merch table. Give it up to Megan for letting me play cricket this morning. And for the whole team here at the Comedy Republic, like organizing to sound, everything, give it up to them because it's been so awesome. We are much over time, so I gotta go, but this has been so delightful. I will obviously make my way back to Melbourne because how can I not? But until I find my way back, until then, I'll see you later. Thanks so much for coming out, everybody. Hey, thanks for listening to this episode of The News Olympian. This podcast is created, hosted, and produced by me, Mike Schubert. I also run the social media and the website. Our editor is Sherry Guo. The music is by Bettina Campamanes and Brandon Krugel, and the art is by Jessica E. Boyd. If you can't get enough of the show, you can go to thenewsolympian.com/Patreon for bonus episodes, bonus content, ad-free episodes, a whole bunch of fun stuff. If you want to interact with the community around the show, you can check out the Discord, which is available to all patrons, or we're on social media. We're at Newest Olympian on Instagram, Blue Sky, and Twitter. And we've got a subreddit, reddit.com/r/thenewestolympian. You can also also show your love for TNO by getting TNO merch at thenewsolympian.com/merch. Of course, want to give a huge shout out to our producer level patrons, Kelsey Gillespie, Vicky Garcia, Frida Vikstrom, Megan Moon, Polly Burridge, Nikki Harris, Tatiana Schmidt, Sandra Rose, Josh Sayer, Sam Ruby, Mrs. O'Leary, Milo Kim, Sandkopf, Rayla Matthews, Sky Mallory, Mick Walters, Grace, Ginger Spursboy, Bradimus Prime, Skylar Sisters, Scott Sheldon, Ann M. Thayer Cohen, Bella, Percy Jack's Son, Kit Kat Crumbs, Jim Jam Koopy, Andrea, not Andrea, Jordan Ray, Nico's Black, Vespa, Zayden Wintergate, Terry Rothfuzz, Certified Ghost King's emotional support friend, Lee Hartley, Persasabeth, and Alex DeLong. If you want to support the show in a non-monetary way, word of mouth is essential for podcast growth. You can tell a friend directly, say, hey, there's this Percy Jackson podcast I think you would like, check it out. You could leave a rating and review on whatever podcasting app you're using, or you could just talk about the show on social media. All these things really do help. I really appreciate anyone who has done so in the past, and I appreciate anyone who will do so in the future. But I'm just so thankful that you tuned into this episode, and I hope you tune into our next episode, where we'll be joined by Sarah Barra, live in Brisbane, Australia, to break down chapters 18, 19, and a little bit of chapter 20 of The House of Hades. But until then, I'll Percy you later. Hey everyone, how's it going? It's me, ASMR Mike. So everyone is really nice at the TNO live shows, and it's become a thing. It's funny, it actually, I think, started at the Vienna, Virginia show from a couple years ago, that people started bringing friendship bracelets to the show, very Taylor Swift coded, and I have so many that I don't have enough room to hang them all up in my shubio. I have a lot of them hanging there, but I also have some in like glass jars as a display case. So I have these near the microphone because I was picking which ones I was going to bring on my trip for this Vienna live show. So I'm going to shake this jar around. It's an oversized Bon Maman jar, like one of the Costco size ones, filled almost all the way to the top with friendship bracelets. And then I also have this, which is like a little D&D dice bag filled with even more of them. I have so many, and I'm so grateful, and I cherish all of them, and I think fondly of the shows that they were at and the people who gave them to me, and yeah, it's good stuff. So now you can hear, hopefully, my appreciation and the cool jingling noises. Thank you so much for listening.